fuck around and bumping many men. I had anxiety in my body, living the street life. Rocky really not over nothing, that shit don't sit right. My mother tried to let her nigga play me, fuck I look like. Last bitch played me back to back, so the take like. Once I found myself, I ain't wanna be around nobody else. It's okay if I cheat, bitch, but if you do, you gotta step. It's a cold world, I'm all alone, nobody tried to help. I'm a Martian, I need the phone home, nobody like myself. Bitches mad that I done moved on. Have you had that bitch running? Just because they say they love you, like that don't be done. I just learned to listen.
Ooh, we rocking too.
That's Rah South, man. Money coming.
That's Rah South, yo. Shout out to Rah South, man.
Money coming.
That shit fire.
Yeah, it's always good to hear from somebody from the area, bro.
That's a fact, man. Shout out to fucking North, my nigga. Shout out to the North, bro.
Exactly. Man.
That shit fire, my nigga.
For real. That shit, we heard a couple of his shit. We just sit back and listen to it.
Yeah.
My man on to some shit.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
My man got some shit going on. You know what I'm saying?
For real, we definitely got to tap in with him, like, for sure. Yo. That shit fire, yo. Got some peace out there, but he's speaking some real shit. He's speaking his reality, you know what I mean? And it's always good to hear somebody actually speak about their reality and what they got going on. And, you know what I mean? To hear that from him is actually dope. And his visual's pretty dope, too.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Plus, the nigga said he was wearing a mask before Corona, so I don't want to upset the young man.
He said, can't say nothing bad about it. Might pop him through the window. Yeah.
Exactly. I ain't trying to. I'm saying shit fire though. Shit on point.
That's a fact. Shout out to Rah South, man. But
Rah South.
Once again, man. One Hustlers Group Podcast. Your boy Rob Belafonte, man.
Local hustler stadium.
Yes, a fact, man. Shout out to the boy G for sure, man.
ABM clothing.
That's a fact. Listen us up with the caps for sure.
Son.
You feel me? He got the little 90s like Cali swag on.
Yeah, little Nas version.
Oh wait, which one we talking about?
Lil Nas.
X. Hey, we ain't getting in trouble right now, man. Lil Boosie got the whole community after him right now, brother. We ain't about to do that. So that's on our platform.
Nah, because it's colorful.
Oh, respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully.
I respect that.
You know what I'm saying?
Respect that.
Come on, bro. That shit, spread love.
You know what I mean? Always. Always, man was wearing a United hat for niggas rocking United hats.
And congrats to that man, too. He like, what, 6 months pregnant? You gotta give it up. 6 months pregnant, you know what I'm saying? Give it to that man. No?
Yo! Shout out to that man. Congratulations, brother. You feel me?
Montero is the baby's name.
Huh?
Montero. Alright, this nigga, yo.
That's a real thing?
Yeah. That's the name. Named him already. He already had the photo shoot and everything, bro.
Yo, I seen the photo shoot, but I didn't know it was actually a thing. I thought it was like some just funny shit.
Yeah.
You know, Drake album came out with the pregnant women, so he wanted to be a part of it, so he put his shit out there.
Oh, yeah, nah. Obama gifted him some shit and everything.
Oh my god.
It's real. It's a big deal.
Montero.
Hey
man, shout out to that man. Congratulations to that man, man. What he got going on is what he got going on, man.
I guess he can stay in music.
As we should, man.
You know what I'm saying?
We got some shit coming. We got a lot of shit came out.
Oh, you want to tell the people why we haven't recorded though?
Yeah, man. The world changing, man. First and foremost, you missed a few weeks as niggas tested positive for the vid, my nigga. Vid happened. Vid 100%, nigga. Don't know what the fuck going on out in these streets, man. Now I don't know what happened to the forest fires. The shit came over to Jersey, fucked up the air quality. Niggas ended up testing positive, man. Shit wild, boy.
The crazy thing is, I actually got sick before this man. You know what I'm saying?
His test was negative.
My shit was negative, yeah.
His sickness was way worse than mine. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I think my shit came from the AC. You know what I'm saying?
So my whole thing was the fact that, like, I didn't understand how this shit even happened, because I don't like, outside of like regular day shit, just me and my kid. So to even have that thought process was like, was a bit crazy for me. You know what I mean? So I mean, only reason why I even went and got tested because I had my kid with me. You know what I mean? So any
responsible.
You know what I mean? Any good person would go get tested because they got their kid with them. And they say that before you test positive, that you can be positive up to 3 days before, allegedly. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, cool, let me go check and see what's going on. I feel fine. The only thing was wrong was my throat was hurting. That was it. Everything else was pretty much normal. I had a sore throat during the pandemic before, which was actually 10 times worse than the one I had this time. The first time I got tested, it was negative, but this time it wasn't as bad as when I get tested just because I tested positive. I mean, it's the best vacation I've had in my life. outside the fact that I didn't have my kid, and I think that's the part that killed me the most. You know what I mean?
A lot of you niggas out there couldn't wait for that.
That's a fact. Fuck those kids. Fuck those kids.
A lot of y'all couldn't wait for that shit, man.
That was the hardest part, to be away from my kid. But outside of that, I mean, it was time to reflect and really build myself up. You know what I mean? And much needed rest. You know what I mean? And I think that was what I did the most, was just really rest up and, you know what I mean, kind of prepare. But, you know what I mean?
It's crazy how things happen. Like, right after you got sick, your boy Ant got sick with COVID.
Damn.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whole squad got sick.
Whole squad was down for a minute, but maybe back chinchilla ice on would have fitted. You know what I mean? Shout out to Lloyd Banks, man. Had to put that out there real quick. But, so, like, the first day it was cool. First day was actually really, really mental, because it's like, now you gotta accept the fact that it's there. So I gotta call my boss and go through that whole process of shit. Thankfully, I can work from home. So I was able to still keep that check coming in. But, so I mean, just sitting there, and thankfully I got my own apartment, so I stay by myself. So I don't gotta subject myself to one fucking room, nigga. I'm everywhere. That's probably the best I ever cooked, nigga. I was cooking fucking T-bone steaks and shit, nigga.
Everything that won't even help.
Anything, nigga, it didn't matter, nigga, everything. Nigga, the sense of taste was there, since the smell was there, nigga, I was straight, you heard? You know what I mean? So I think like it was much needed rest, man, and I was able to, you know, come out of it on top. I mean, I ain't die, so I'm here.
The thing is being responsible too. I mean, you went and got tested, that's the first thing. You gonna get vaxxed?
Nah, it's over for that. Keep that shit moving. I'm gonna tell you why. You niggas got me fucked up. Right? So for one, I'm gonna tell you why I won't get vaxxed. For one, right? So I tested positive, right? My father called me.
It's your second time being jammed up with COVID, though, right? You might as well go ahead and get the vax.
I've been tested 4 times.
And you had it twice.
I was quarantined twice. Quarantined twice,
and then
quarantined twice, and this is the first time I had ever caught it.
It's 3 times.
So the first
to get that vaxxed up.
The first time somebody tested positive that I worked with, and I worked with her closely the day before she actually tested positive. So it was only right that I took some days off in quarantine to make sure that I was healthy enough to be out, you know, out and about, potentially exposing other people. So I had to do that. So this was the first time I actually quarantined and knew that I had it. You know what I mean? So why I won't get vaccinated? For one, my father, he sent me a voice note. My father don't send me a voice note. He call, he check on me, send me a text message, we good, nigga, send me a voice note. I was like, all right, cool, something up. Something ain't right. Father probably, I got a sense of funeral at this point. I don't know what the fuck going on at this point. But he called me like, yeah, man, I got that shit. I said, what? Yeah, I got it. I said, all right, so he sound bad. Like, shit, voice wild. He like, man, I'm weak. I can't breathe. Like, it's this shit bad. He bad off.
He got COVID?
Niggas, yeah, he got that shit. He got the whole full thing, full blood. He went to the hospital. They enlisted him in the hospital. Now, normally, if you catch COVID, you take your test in the hospital, they don't always keep you. They'll tell you to, you know, hey, go home, quarantine, you straight, you good. He kept him for 3 days. I'm like, man, what's going on? Like, are you vaxxed? Like, yeah, I'm fully vaccinated.
Nah, he probably got like one of the bad Nah, because I know, like, be honest with you, though, if them shits ain't kept.
If you get your vax out of that crate, yeah, something ain't right. Something ain't right.
Such and such pharmacies, I won't say on here. Something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Them pharmacists like to keep them drugs out on the counter. Them shits gotta be at a certain temperature for a certain amount of time.
He got that bad batch.
Nigga got 100 shots he gotta give. They got 100 of them. He got 100 of them syringes loaded up on the counter, non-refrigerated. You know what I'm saying? Shit defrosting like a motherfucker. And he gonna hit you with that. You know what I'm saying? So that shit that he giving you is pretty much
that shit warm to that shit lukewarm.
Yeah. You have to open up a Sprite. You know what I'm saying? After that shit was like frozen.
That shit diluted like a motherfucker.
Have the water at the top. That's what he giving you.
There ain't no nothing. Bitch, that shit come out like water. You heard?
Yeah, that's what he giving you. You gotta, I don't know, bro.
And that's what it was. So he came to me, told me that. I'm like, all right. But it's crazy because when he had nigga having a conversation with me and he like, yeah, man, like they're not telling me much. I said, because they can't tell you shit. You vaccinated. They telling you that just symptoms should be mild.
Yeah.
My shit was little to nothing.
It should be mild. It should be mild.
My nigga, all I had was a sore throat. This nigga he couldn't breathe. He was in a hospital enlisted.
He still was wearing his mask though?
I don't know what was going on in that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like the whole thing was that his symptoms was way worse than mine. So I say that to say, like, all right, cool. So if I'm gonna take this vaccination and it's supposed to mild my symptoms, I met somebody who got it, both his shots, and he got that shit, and his symptoms 10 times worse than mine.
Right.
So, what do you promise me? What are you promising me? What are you promising me through giving me this vaccination?
I don't think it's. I mean, which one? Pfizer just got.
Just in general.
Just got approved from.
Just in general.
I think the Pfizer one just got approved, right, from the CDC.
Yes, fine.
So
Moderna ain't pushing that Moderna yet.
I
don't know what the fuck was up with Moderna.
Yeah, so it's probably all depends on like which one you got too. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not. What's the name on it? I kind of.
You sound like an advocate, man. I'm just saying. You pressing for you vaxxed up?
For me?
Oh, you on your shit? Nigga, big vax. You heard?
Hey, listen, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get me wrong. I contemplated it. Don't you know what I mean? Don't think I'm just completely oblivious to it. Don't think that I'm a naysayer. No, vaccinations are bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying specifically, if you giving me something, tell me what it's for. You know what I mean? If you tell me it's gonna mild my symptoms, and I still see people with symptoms that are very, high. Speaking of that, you had somebody recently, and I haven't read the story completely, but I read a story where somebody was vaccinated, and like the day after, the person died from the shit. You know what I mean? So. Now, that could be underlying issues that happened beforehand, but at the same time, like, what's going on?
And I hate the underlying issue. Like, all of us battle with something.
Everybody does.
Everybody got some type of shit. Mentally, physically, like, everybody got some type of shit wrong with their health.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some type of something. Ain't nobody want, so everybody got something underlying. You feel what I'm saying? So,
right.
I don't know, man. Just be safe out there.
That's
a lot of y'all motherfuckers not wearing masks either.
That's a fact.
Last year around this time, everybody was masked up because it was mandatory, you know what I'm saying? So everybody was masked up and shit was dropping, Right. So around this time now, niggas got vaxxed, but niggas are still not wearing the mask and shit is rising. So don't take a chance to figure it out that you need to
and then on top of that,
your mask back on.
And I think it also goes to the fact that, like, remember when they first
you got some people
up,
that's anti-maskers and vaxxers. You can't be both.
The kind of shit you got going on. These niggas out here, you just out living like the 80s.
Yeah.
Just dick out.
Exactly. You all in the party, cock out. Yeah.
You rocking out. Like, you don't give a fuck about nobody at all.
Absolutely nothing.
And the first nigga to get caught COVID and swear up and down that you taking somebody else over them.
That's like son going to the glory hole. Anybody gonna suck this cock, I'm just gonna put it through the window.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm just gonna put it through this hole. Anybody can take it. You get me? Lil Nas X. Lil
I'll take it anywhere I can get it.
Listen, I'm taking it anywhere I can get it. That's how y'all out here, like.
You can't be against both.
On, bro.
Get your shit together.
Bro.
You niggas try to live there. Like I say, the niggas like that, you can tell they fuck raw.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%.
And you don't want to wear masks to protect yourself. We know you fucking raw. You probably raped a few bitches too. Most of them is from the land of Caucasus, but you want to skip past that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just like
other ones that's getting vaxxed up so they won't have to wear the mask.
And they even worse.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like, come on, man. The thing is just to be safe, man. You in a function, mask up. We understand it's family and friends, but mask up. You know what I mean? We don't know how severe this shit could be. You know what I mean? I'm thankful and I'm grateful that it wasn't as bad as it could have been. You know what I mean? My son could have been exposed. My son's mom could have been exposed. Like people that I'm around could have been exposed. My grandmother who have underlying issues could have been exposed. So, you know what I mean? Like I said, although this may be a conspiracy theorist, and I may come off and I say things that may, go against the whole belief of COVID, at the same time, just protect yourself.
Put your fucking mask back on.
Yeah, just put your mask on.
Put your shit back on, man.
It's simple, man. Like, it's real talk. You ever feel, need to just pull that bitch out and just, whip that bitch on. You feel me?
Yo, they got so many so much shit on sale right now. Last year, we was paying about $50 for these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Fact, that bitch accessible, man.
Gap got them shits on sale, $3.99 with extra 50% off for 3 of them.
That's a fact, man. You feel a little skeptical, put that bitch on, man. That's all it takes, man. 2 seconds, man. You away from people, take that bitch off. But that's up to you. 6 feet, man. That's all it takes, man. It ain't rocket science, my nigga. Just to protect yourself,
keep your distance.
That's all it takes. Like I said, I'm grateful that it didn't go as it didn't get as bad as it could have. You know what I mean?
When niggas stop at the gas station 2 hours with no gas attendant licking their fingers and counting the bread out before you give it to me.
Beat your ass.
Y'all niggas there's always the old niggas.
Fight me.
I don't like that. You fight me. I do not like that.
They be hitting that shit too.
Like, bro, listen. Keep that tip, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of here.
Keep that $10, my nigga. You can have that shit.
After he done caught that. Like, come on, bro. Like, what's up with you?
You got me fucked up.
You can't really say nothing. That's like coughing and stuff like that. It's like a natural thing. It's normal. That should just make you look at somebody like, bro, really?
It makes you stop. And it's funny.
We're not about to forget about what happened last year. We're not about to just forget about that. What's happening now? you gotta have some type of responsibility.
That's true. That's true. You know what I mean? And I think it's fair. You know what I mean? So, like I said, if you want to mask up, you want to vax up, just go get tested often. You know what I mean? And it gives you assurance that you okay, man. That's all it takes. Like I said, it takes 2 minutes, man. These vaccinations you don't gotta pay. Go to your Rite Aid or Walgreens, get that bitch for free. Mm-hmm. They willing to give you the test for free. You know what I mean? You gotta go through the drive-thru and everything, but I mean it's fine. Let's go get tested, man. Go figure that shit out. You know what I mean? But safety is everything, man, for sure. But I mean, let's move on though, man. We here, man. We back, man. We back in rare form, man.
It's good times though, man. We living in good times right now.
Oh yeah, great times, man.
Yeah.
Fuck great times, man.
You finally got that thing we've been wanting.
Yeah, we got it. It's here. It's here. So what's happening? It's here.
You got that thing we've been wanting.
It's here. It's funny because we was, and if you're speaking about the Donda's definitely here.
Oh yeah.
If that's what you're speaking on.
That's what I'm speaking on.
If that's what you're speaking on.
So the one thing that came out that I know.
Before all this shit, we had a conversation. I remember when Kanye went and really, adjusted his life to God. When he put out a gospel album, and the question was, where the fuck do you go from here? You know what I mean? Like, where do you go from here once you give us a full album of gospel? You know what I mean? Like, where do he now go? And he was able to put out a tape, his last tape. Don't quote the name of it. What was the name? Jesus the King. He dropped it, and it was a good album. And it's like, okay, well, what's next?
Put out another gospel album. Donda. Which is a gospel album.
What baffles me about this man Kanye is the fact that this is a fucking genius, bro. How do you convert, and it's kind of crazy because you're talking about 300,000 plus streams the first week. I think that's including sales and shit like that, right? Album sales and everything within that week, or just streams. 300,000 streams. Yeah. So let's speak on streams. 300,000 streams.
I'm sorry, no. 300 sold. Thank you. Album sold.
300K, right? 300K album sold, right?
340.
So, how many of these people actually in church? You don't find 300,000 people in church. Let's be honest. Church seats like 3, 4, 5 people in there. Everybody's live streaming and shit like that, right? This man is converting people to listening to gospel, bro. I have never listened to a gospel album before this. I'm gonna be completely honest. I've been to a church like 3 times my whole life.
Kurt Franklin had them slaps.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, Donnie
for sure.
Clerkin had them slaps.
I know if you saw some, but what I'm saying is for this, I'm going to church.
Yolanda Adams had them slaps and them yams.
But she had that cake, you heard?
Hey, listen.
He said that in this fake thing. I know what he into.
Yeah, listen.
She a God-fearing woman, but that she get nasty. I know she get nasty.
Yo, listen, man. Oh my God.
Them drums ain't there for nothing, you heard? But so he drops this motherfucking tape. It's a highly anticipated tape. And I'm like, all right, cool. The rollout was rough. A little rough. I think I'm gonna say rough because it was like
rollout was beautiful.
It was a little rough because it was unexpected. We didn't know what to expect. It's like a sold out a fucking stadium out of nowhere. Tickets came out of nowhere. I didn't know about tickets for this fucking thing at all. Mm-hmm. I didn't know the tickets went on sale for it. The shit happened. The first one. The second one happens. I know somebody actually went to that shit and they said it was amazing. It took them forever to come out, but this man is packing out stadiums for unknown shit. Like they didn't know what the fuck they was getting. Niggas just sitting there like.
Well, they packing out stadiums for the same shit.
And then like Chicago one happened, and it was like, all right, this is a little much. And then of course you had all these rumors that he had took Jay-Z off and put the baby, and you had all this shit circulating, and all this shit was false narratives. Like, all right, cool. Then he dropped the album. Mm-hmm. And before I'm giving all the shit around the album before I talk about the specific album. The album drops, and I think the Breakfast Club is the only thing I listen to in the morning. I love the Breakfast Club. But you had niggas like shitting on this album. The album was out for 12 hours, and you telling me this shit ass.
Yeah, first of all, the album is 12 hours long. 12 hours long. You know what I'm saying? So you couldn't, like, they got shit in a gospel album.
The nigga said,
Like,
DJ Envy.
How y'all critiquing a gospel album, bro? That's ridiculous.
But it's fine. Do so.
Disgusting.
Do so. But let's be realistic. I think what people do is they have this notion that they compare you to your past music. That show that these niggas aren't real fans of music. These niggas are more interested in being a critic. This get the fuck off your TV show, get the fuck off your radio show, and be a critic then. Go work for fucking Rotten Tomatoes or something. Like, cause you niggas are just critiquing shit. Like, listen to the music for music. Don't listen for nothing else. For music, for what it is, it's good fucking music.
What was the issue though? I'm trying to figure out what was the issue. I mean, you couldn't really find like an issue. I mean, I think DJ Envy talked about some personal shit that we had no idea was going on. So we don't give a fuck about that.
Right.
Whatever happens back scenes whatever happened behind the scenes happened behind the scenes. I don't give a fuck about that. I just care about the music. The music was great music. It don't seem like it was rushed from what we. The thing about Kanye though, prior to Jesus King, because I really didn't like the album. I think he put out a great album every single time. Every album that he put out is good.
Right.
Every album. You can go back. You know, the Kids See Go shit I think was really good. You get me? The Ye shit, I think Ye was really good. Pablo, I think Pablo was really good. You know what I'm saying? So like you keep going back, shit is really good. You get me? But for this to be a gospel album, and for him to get all types of artists that shouldn't even belong in a gospel album, it's genius, bro. It was genius.
Like I said, to even sit there and listen to that shit. And like I said, and this is everything dealing with everything around the album. It's not even talking about the album specifically yet, and even rating the fucking album.
He's selling out merch every day. Every time they niggas, I watched the video. People have broke the merch.
You seen that shit, bro? That shit was insane, my nigga.
Trying to get to the merch. You get me? So he's selling out. The merch is 100% him. Then on top of that, what we I think we were talking about earlier, what we haven't seen people mention, I think Kanye is out of that badass deal that he was in before. You ain't seen no Rock Nation. You ain't seen no Rockefeller. And the only thing you're seeing was distributed through Def Jam.
Right.
So if that is the case, where it's just being distributed through Def Jam,
everything is him.
Everything is him.
I mean, he's already listed as a billionaire.
Yeah, but you sit back and you look at who's really winning when it comes down to him and Drake and Cells. Because we're going to get into that nigga
There is no
later.
Conversation.
But nah, we're going to get into that nigga a little bit later.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he damn near doubled what Kanye had in Cells.
Right.
You feel me? We're probably taking home
half that. Not even half
Not
that.
even
10%. Because Wayne got 30% of that.
And Birdman got 40. You know what I'm saying? So
he got 20.
If that. You know what I'm saying? So we know, but that's a big deal, bro. Like him getting off of, I think earlier this year, right? He was talking about well, earlier this year we heard rumors of Jay-Z selling Kanye's contract. Remember that?
Right.
Well, Kanye's rights or masters, some shit like that. We heard rumors of that, right? But then we heard Kanye say, "Hey, I should have been out of this fucking contract. Why am I still in this contract? I should have been out of this contract years ago. But to see it released on, Getting Out of Our Dreams is beautiful to me, man.
Like I said, for me, I'm sitting there and I'm like looking at
That's
this
a celebration. You want to pop that open, man?
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
That's a celebration, huh?
This is some good Georgia wine right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? From the Big Door Vineyards, you feel me?
It's fitting too, though, because Kanye from Georgia.
Very. He's from who?
He's from Georgia.
Kanye?
He was born in Georgia, right in Chicago.
Then he moved to Newark, and then what?
Yeah.
And then New York.
Yeah.
You feel me? For sure, man. You gotta first. This is your. Hey, brother, you do the pleasures, man. Last time I was fighting with that bit. Last time, you feel me? About to put me.
I'm twisting now.
Hey, bro, let me get this, but that nigga about to fuck up something, y'all.
Switchblade out too. Oh no, what you trying to do to me? Nah.
But yeah, so I'm looking at it like, you know what I mean? So he dropped this motherfucking tape and it's like, yo, the fact of the matter is that, like you said, for him to put so many different people on this album was fucking amazing. You know what I mean? Like, so it's super dope. And on top of that, like, people don't listen. How many people listen to gospel on a day-to-day? None. You know what I mean? Almost none. I know a few people, but I'm just saying, but for the most part, you don't. But I feel like he's bringing religion in a sense, or just like, a belief of higher power to everybody,
What was the biggest moments on the album for you? Because it was not. I mean, I didn't have to skip not one thing.
I didn't either.
I'm kind of. It was a little. I guess we could talk about some of the verses that was kept off too, which have resurfaced later on.
Tripping. But yeah. I think we should. All right. Miss Lauryn Hill.
How was it stand up for you? Miss
Lauryn Hill. It was a standout for one reason only, is because I think I had just came to the conclusion that I'm a sample fiend.
Hold that up.
I'm good. I'm a sample fiend, man. Like, I love samples, man. Like, I love to hear great music.
This shit got some legs on it.
See what that look like?
Word, this shit got Atlanta wine looking like France. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, that's it. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so hearing Miss Lauryn Hill on it, and a good song, you know what I mean? Woo.
For the sample.
Ooh, ooh. And then it's like, you know, to hear that and him not fuck that song up, it feels really good. That was one of the highlights of the album for me. I love Travis.
What you think about the baby being left off when the album first dropped?
It's a part two.
He did say, but before that, prior to that, she got left off. Before it was a part two.
So, do I have a problem?
How you feel about how you feel about that?
Do I have?
Because he said the album was released without his knowledge too, which I guess you could speak on.
I don't know. I mean, could I have done the album without him? Could I have heard the album without him? Yeah, I could have.
No, I'm saying, what do you feel about that though? I give you my take on it. I give you my take on it.
Do you think it was planned?
I do. I give you my take on it.
Okay, good.
Megan has issues with the baby, right? Let's take it there.
Rock Nation.
You get me? Megan is signed. She has a management deal with Rock Nation. We know Jay-Z, the one that's done on moral ethics and codes and shit like that. There's no way in hell the baby and Jay-Z was gonna be in the same song. I don't give a fuck what album is going on. Your album, this album, whatever album, nigga, I'm not going to song with this nigga. You feel me? That's how I feel about why that shit was left off. You feel me?
Jay-Z had him up like, yeah,
Nah, it's not happening. You know what I represent already, and that's not that. You feel me? Then it could have been the controversy that was surrounding the baby, which I don't think is true because Kanye don't fall. I'm gonna tell you what article I read. We all know he had Marilyn Manson inside the album listening party.
Right.
He had the baby there. He was trying to get Donald Trump to be there.
That's crazy.
He was trying to get Donald Trump to be there. So imagine Donald Trump standing next to West Side Gun. Like, can you imagine? Bro, just think of that, bro. Boom, 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 boom. Like, he all in Trump air, like, boom, 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 boom. Like, yeah, like, just imagine that, bro. It's so crazy, bro. So, he's not afraid of controversy. You get me? However, I do believe the album was released without a say so.
Prematurely, yeah.
He only got a fucking album cover. That's proof right there. Nobody's talking about that. This nigga don't even got an album cover. This is all black. They don't have the parental advisory note on it. I mean, I guess because it's not cursing or anything like that. But it's just a black thing. They released the shit without this man. You know, that's me.
It wasn't even on purpose.
That's me. I don't think he released that. I think they released the shit without his consent. You feel me? That's just me.
I heard Drake leak. Nah, but good.
That's just me. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I would have loved to hear Kid Cudi on Remote Control. That's my favorite song off the album. I would have loved to hear Cudi's verse in that we heard in Atlanta, the second song.
Yeah.
She was beautiful. I would have loved to hear it on that.
Let's get into it. I think, you know, before we go and rate, you know what I mean, how we feel about the album, you know, speaking of remote control.
Got it on remote control.
Your boy Big Draco came out and said that his verse was taken off there, man. How do you feel about that?
Yo, for all y'all niggas, you know I love Drake. Draco. Sorry. I love Soulja Boy. That verse is horrible, bro.
That shit was.
I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. That verse is horrible, brother. Yo, peace. But that verse was disgusting, terrible. Good thing he kept it off of there. I would have hit you back like, bro, I would have hit you back with a wastebasket in a text message. Basura. I would have said something to you to make you realize, like, this shit is trash, nigga. You should have took your ass down to Atlanta, like he said, and not record that shit at your house with all your homeboys. They not fitting for this. You
And it was gassing up. That bitch hot.
Yeah, you don't need them niggas around you.
Niggas playing that shit. Nigga had Brando photo on the screen while he rapping this shit.
That's not the type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that was one of the worst verses I ever heard in my fucking life. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I could have sworn that was Takeoff.
Yo, but Takeoff lyrical though.
Right, but I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
He talking some bullshit. Hop in a race. Hop in a rose.
That nigga talking about threesomes and shit.
Yeah,
Nigga said, wait, what?
This nigga album ain't about that. That song not even about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But my whole thing is, I know Chris Brown said something too. Chris Brown's a clown. Y'all know how I feel about him. He's a clown ass nigga. His vocals are still in the album though. You just didn't have his full verse. Like you can hear his vocals on the album.
Yeah, and I'm gonna speak on that.
Confused about that.
So I'm looking at it right.
But one last thing. I was kind of confused about that. But this is this man's album. He has say-so on who goes on his fucking album. Everything doesn't make the cut. When you got a high school football team or a high school baseball team, 50 niggas try out. Everybody is not making a cut.
53-man roster, man.
No baseball, we ain't got that many niggas.
NFL, 53-man roster.
Yeah, everybody's...
It's 90 motherfuckers on the field.
Everybody's not making the cut.
With his deadline, niggas don't make the cut.
Everybody's not making the cut.
Let's be honest.
And they're going to choose the best of the best. Or you're going to choose whatever makes sense for his type of album. You got Andre 3000 got left off.
Come on, man.
He's arguably one of the greatest fucking rappers to ever do this. And he got left off and he ain't crying.
Let's be honest, man. Sonically, where the fuck was Chris Brown gonna fit?
I heard it sounded good though, bro. It sounded good.
Earth, Wind and Fighters dropped 3 months, like a year ago. Yeah. I'm not putting this man on this album. You forget that album dropped. Mm-hmm. I'm good on that. So like I'm a little confused because like I said, yeah, the verse may have sounded great, but I don't sonically hear him fit on the album. Mm-hmm. When I play the album straight through, I feel like Chris Brown vote with him like, alright, Chris, it's cool, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't think he fit on the album. Personally, people can argue me, whatever the case may be, I don't think he fit on the album. I don't think Draco fit on the album. But my thing about Draco is, he keep talking about young niggas. What young niggas is he referring to? Because all the young niggas are on the album.
You 36 years old, bro. You can cut it with that young
He going through a midlife fucking crisis. Nigga, you talking about young niggas. Nigga, you older than me. And I'm going through a midlife. What the fuck? Can we all agree to agree that Soulja Boy's the dirtiest rich nigga we ever seen in our life?
Mm-hmm. That rich part is a little, that rich part.
It's a little flaky. It's a little flaky. But I'm just be honest, man.
He do got a little against all odds flavor.
He look like he the type of nigga that'll wear your jeans. Hey, bro, let me hold those. Yeah. He like one of those. Hey, bro, let me wear those sneakers, bro.
He do like the type of nigga that shop at against all odds when you pull a gate halfway down.
That's a fact.
And he come in and try to rack
Hey, bro, can I get that real quick?
Yeah, he do like that type of nigga.
Hey, bro, y'all got a family discount? Mm-hmm. We seen the nigga shopping at the mall kiosks.
That nigga told Kanye, you see you broke ass nigga, I ain't never seen you with a bust down.
Pause. What?
Yo.
I ain't mad, nigga, cause you broke, nigga. Fuck you talking about? I'm the nigga getting money, nigga. You owe everybody, nigga. You owe Jay-Z, you owe taxes, you owe your accountant, you in debt, nigga. You need some money from Mark Zuckerberg, nigga. You broke, nigga. You was on the internet crying, you ain't rich, nigga. Fuck out of here, nigga. Who you think you fooling, nigga?
Who you think you fooling?
Okay, nigga.
Let's bring down some points in this.
Nigga, I ain't never seen you with a bust down, nigga.
Yo, bro. Why is that the end all be all? Cause you never see my man with a bust down, he broke. What's up with this nigga, bro? Like, this niggas are weird, bro.
The first thing that we gotta have a conversation about, we tell niggas are in different tax brackets, the fact that Kanye can have a conversation with Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Yeah.
He got Mark Zuckerberg phone number in his phone. That's a different tax bracket, bro. Let's be completely honest, right? Let's just say that, right? So my thing is, if what the fuck do money got to do with anything, right? Because when we sit there and you see somebody like Kanye who's asking Mark Zuckerberg to be a partner with him in a business venture, that's about partnership, investors. people who got long money and extensive records and extensive backgrounds that can get you in different rooms.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the money, because we got the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's about who do I know that know what? Resources. Who know who? That's what it's all about.
Nigga, he talking all this shit, nigga. You couldn't even get that deal with Atari, nigga.
He got mad as hell. He said, I brought Atari.
No, you did.
Fuck you, Atari.
I'm looking at the screen like, no, you did. Like, come on.
But it's funny because he had the hat like this the whole time.
Silly ass hat he got.
And he brought that bitch down.
I told you, he got it from
I brought Atari.
He got it from Against All Odds.
That's just Walmart. That shit do be in the corner, nigga. We know what the fuck going on, man. And that shit, it was one of them old ass hats. Who wasn't in a new 5-panel or nothing? I don't know what the fuck going on.
Duck bill that he had. Like,
look, I get it, man. I get it. You know, like sometimes shit can be very, you know, like traumatizing when you're supposed to be a part of something and you're really not a part of it. You know what I mean? And I think you actually mentioned it off camera, the fact that he probably had some underlying shit prepared for something. You know what I mean? And shit didn't go through. His nigga dropped his album. Mm-hmm. He probably wanted that little publicity, you know what I mean, to put his album out. Because his album's been flying.
He is independent too. I think he got the Ghazi deal with Empire. So he is independent. So he needed that any type
Stacks
of publicity.
On that shit?
Yeah, he need that publicity. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with Chris Brown. Like they was banking for that shit. Y'all should have charged a nigga. Simple as that. Y'all should have charged him. Y'all should have charged him. Why y'all ain't charged yet?
I ain't gonna lie.
Nigga, you ain't see y'all win the verse. Yeah, 150.
I'd been mad as hell if I went in the studio and gave this shit my all. And I ain't make the cut.
You didn't even get no notice. You out there, you telling your homeboys like, yo, we about to have a listener party.
This bitch
yo,
hard.
I killed this song.
The top 5.
Bro, I killed this shit. You gotta listen to this shit. Wait till this shit come out. Then when you get the album, you don't see no features up there, right? Which is a trick because the second song you hear, you're like, oh, shit got features on it.
Yeah.
All right, cool, but he just saying listen shits. All right, cool, we rocking.
You rock the whole album.
Nigga looking like.
And that last song come, that shit be like.
So now your homeboys gas you up. That nigga took you off the album, you know what I'm saying?
And no.
Took you off the album card. You get me? You know Chris Brown blood cuts.
Oh, he fooled y'all Pyru. I forgot.
His blood cuts. You know what I'm saying? They took off the album card. You heard? They ain't hear that verse, cuz. Nigga like, word, that nigga didn't. Hop on Instagram. You're Kanye a whole out here. You know what I'm saying? You Fruitile Pyro. I didn't even know y'all pronounced the H's, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You find me? Yo, these gay niggas.
Niggas got us fucked.
It's only gay members that's mad, bro.
Niggas got us fucked up.
It's only gay members that's mad, bro.
I don't know what the fuck going on with these, but the whole thing, nigga, Soulja said, nigga, you ain't rich. I got more money than you.
Mm-hmm.
Soulja.
Nobody in their fucking right mind believe you.
I get the clowning shit, capping shit, you know, like trying to, you know, the trolling shit.
Then he put all that money there. You didn't see the money inside that in his FaceTime video?
The nigga had $400,000 in his face and couldn't afford a nail clip. Hey, bro, stop playing. Nigga had the filthy yo, stop playing. Come on, bro, stop playing, man. Like I said, I respect Soulja for what he did to the game. He really, you know, changed the game for sure. I agree with that shit, but you on fuck shit time. You on fuck time right now.
What you rate the album, man?
I'm gonna be honest right now. I'm at my like 10th, 11th listen, bro. And I'm highly impressed by the album. This one album, I'm gonna be honest, like I said, I wasn't impressed by all the other albums, you know, maybe because all the controversy that was surrounding it. I didn't listen to this album as a fucking album. As a Kanye album. I listened to it as a fan of music. Mm-hmm. And to say like you got gospel music and great music is mixed into this. You put Dirk on a gospel album. You know what I mean? Like I would never expect Dirk to be on a gospel album and deliver a verse that way. You know, like you got these rowdy rap, like why do
yeah, you got Fabio up there.
And that shit hard.
Fabio got the best verse.
Nigga, I was in there like, what the
that nigga said, I met her in church, she prayed for me, that's my god sister. I ain't gonna hold you. That bar's a little flaky, but it fit. You know,
that shit fit well.
It fit.
My thing is that he delivered.
Yeah.
He delivered.
What's your ranking, man?
And fuck all that. Like I'm giving him 8.5. I'm up there. I'm up there.
1 out of 10.
I'm up there. I'm not giving him 10 because I haven't
I
like
respect it.
you get the bulk of it.
I respect it.
And then other ones kind of fall wayside, so I'm always want to revisit the bottom half of the album and then go back. But an 8.5 for sure. Like even with the top hitters that he get, I feel like he delivered. You know what I mean? He took Cudi off Control, but he put him on Moon. And Moon is like a theme that Cudi has always ran with. You know, the fact that he's like out of there. You know, he's out of this world.
I ain't gonna hold you. I think I told you before. That nigga had Don Toliver sound like, you know what I'm saying, Whitney Houston. I never heard his vocals that clear before. He wasn't pitchy at all.
That shit was excellent.
They could make that nigga
and for
sing
you
the
niggas who
national
don't know
anthem.
who Don Toliver is a Cactus Jack artist, my nigga. Like niggas found him a little while ago, man. Like he son is an issue, and I low key think he out here writing niggas verses. But I'm gonna chill out.
I ain't gonna hold you. At the Super Bowl next year, the way he was sounding on there, he can sing the national anthem. He can sing the national anthem. When he had them boys, that boy vocals, he wasn't pitchy at all. Made sense. He was right on key. You know what I'm saying? Yo.
Shit, excellent, man. I love it. And like I said, nigga got Dirk on it, bro. He got Dirk on 8.5, man. What you got though, man? Come on, man. What you got? I know you got something in the tank. What's up, man?
I'd probably give it a 9 or a 10. To be honest with you.
9 or 10. You can't do 9 or 10, my nigga. That's either top or not the top. Come on, man.
I give it a 9 though. I give it a 9 because he took Cudi off. I would have loved it, Cudi on remote. But not overall. Overall, I think it's pretty cool. It's a conceptual album, and I know it's super hard to do like a conceptual album. You know, in today's society, especially with everything going on and how long the album was, and for him to stick to that concept. Right. And the funny thing is, it's like I think Fabio and because he had what's the other dude? What's the dude name? J Electronic on there. Right. Yeah, Jay-Z on there. And all of these dudes stuck with the concept.
And it's crazy because those niggas, they like people like that, like 5%ers, you know what I mean? Like Black Israelites, you know, like who work with exactly. I'm about to break that down. So it's like it's more Muslim than anything. So to put them on a gospel album is a big thing, and for them to even be speaking, like Jay-Z say, it's like Moses and Jesus, and even have that comparison, and like to even think that far is like not that he's completely dismissive or completely dumb to the fact of God, but it's like like you said, for them to stay on that topic was like, oh shit.
I think he's 5%. And they believe like God is within, like God body. You hear him say it all the time, God body, which is not blasphemous. A lot of people think it's blasphemous.
It's not.
They believe God is within, right? And I think 5% is a branch off of the Nation of Islam. You get me? So when he speaks, I think one time he said arm, leg, arm, head. You know what I'm saying? He's talking like the five limbs, 5 points. So when I hear this man say, made in the image of God. First of all, let's get into the God in my cells. That's my celly. You get me? I'm God body.
Yeah, of course.
You feel me?
All right, yeah.
Made in the image of God. That's a selfie.
That's a fact.
Pray 5 times a day. Lord, please help me. Something like that. It's only Muslims pray 5 times a day. You know what I'm saying? So for him, it's beautiful, bro. And then J Electronic is the same thing too. He's a Muslim brother as well.
But he's more like all his music is like completely engulfed in that.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure. Yeah.
That's not
speak 6 different languages. You get what I'm saying?
And it's not a hard
Arabic,
listen. Yeah. He's not a hard listen because he's into that.
He's super intellectual.
So it's kind of
what's
super relatable too. Like although he may be into that, he's super relatable. Because when him and Jay dropped that album, that shit was crazy. He had Travis on there and everybody. You know what I mean? That shit was insane. So I think, like you said, the combination of people that he put on that album, it didn't sound forced. It sounded complete, like everything.
It didn't sound rushed either.
It was in sync. It synced. It synced completely.
He always get the best out of the weekend. Like him in the weekend, like he
80 degrees.
Yes.
Oh my God.
For real.
I feel like Kanye, he has this thing that he can bring the best out of you. When have you ever heard Weezy on the track with Kanye and this nigga wasn't?
Yeah.
Or you heard anybody on the track, Travis, and anybody on the track with Kanye, you coming with your best. Right. I don't give a fuck what you. Draco put out his best and he missed. And that's fucked up. But it's fucked up.
That's your best nigga, we keep it mid.
Let's leave it. You know what I mean? So I feel like this album, if you separate yourself from all your perspectives of him and the fact that because he do bullshit and it's not your type of shit, is great fucking music that he put out. He produced and he hit on all fucking cylinders. And then taking it a step further, and I know we taking a lot on Kanye, but the fact of the matter is that he's creating something that's bigger than music. He's creating for the listener to be able to listen to this music in the best way, form, or fashion. He created a speaker, and I know niggas wasn't into it. It's fine, but for somebody who's so inspiring, beat makers, producer, that shit is everything. For them to take out things and put things back in and listen to certain beats, that helped their ears.
And this album's going to continue to change.
Exactly.
It's like The Life of Pablo. That shit was like, it's still
that shit changed like 8-9 times. Remember the fucking the Frank Ocean?
Yeah.
Frank Ocean had 2 seconds of a part. He threw a whole new track on it with just Frank Ocean.
Shit constantly change.
You know what I mean? So I think the concept of the fact that nothing is ever completely finished.
When it comes down to Kanye.
Yeah, when it comes down to Kanye. You know what I mean? And I think because he's a perfectionist, and I think some things fall to the wayside, but I said this is music.
It's a lot of part twos he added up there too.
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? But shout out to Kanye, and I think he's doing it.
Man,
you know what
told
I mean?
him with all that. He told him stop with all that red cat. We coming home.
I'm back to baby, and I'm back home. And I touch back road.
So I need to stop with all that red cat, nigga.
You know what I mean? So shout out to Kanye.
You think we're gonna get to watch this on too?
Nah, ever, never. I personally don't want to hear it.
What?
I want to hear it, but I don't want to hear it. I just feel like niggas are in 2 different lanes right now, and that may be forced. That may be forced. I think that Watch the Throne, that shit was crazy, nigga. You remember that bitch dropped?
Of course.
It makes it easier.
I think this could be anyway, what else we got, man?
Look, man.
I mean, Kendrick dropped a verse. You got a new Kendrick verse, Baby King. But you want to talk about something else? There's another album that dropped. Something else dropped.
Come on, man.
What happened?
CLB, man.
What?
CLB, man.
What's that?
Come on, man. Certified Lover Boy, man.
Oh.
The biggest artist in the world, man. The biggest artist in the world, man. Drake, man.
Oh.
Drizzy. YMCMB, man. Cash Money Boys. Young Money, Cash Money. Def Jam. Dipset. How many niggas that nigga signed to? OVO. EXO. Dipset. Diplomats. Nigga down with D-Block. That nigga signed to 7,000 niggas. Alright, man, let's get
Cash Money Sports. No limit. Slip and slide right. Nigga, how you eating, nigga? You know what I'm saying?
PBS Kids. What? That's this nigga is what? Who is he signed to?
How many niggas in his pocket?
Yo, alright. Certified Lover Boys drop, man.
I ain't got nothing for you.
I don't have much for it. I didn't have this shit, to be honest. But let me break you down, man.
You know, I ain't listen to that bull.
This shit, right, is the battle of the writers, man. The battle of the writers, man. The battle of the fuck. The battle of how many features can I get that you can't get. Mm-hmm. The nigga marketing scheme was to put a billboard on everybody's city who was featured on the album. Rick Ross got Miami, gotcha. You know what I mean? Got Toronto, got this, got New York, got. Is it? What the fuck are we talking?
And then also to have them sketchy ass niggas repost the album. Because a lot of y'all rapping niggas is nasty. A lot of y'all musicians is nasty. Because a lot of y'all niggas are featured on 2 albums. And then none of y'all repost that Kanye shit. Not that he gives a fuck anyway. But a lot of y'all niggas are nasty. Dirk, you fucking nasty.
Nah, payola. Maybe you gotta realize niggas getting paid for this shit, man.
Listen, bro. He got a streaming farm somewhere.
Niggas are getting paid for this. You understand, understand this, bro.
He ain't no way in hell he did double what Kanye did the first day. And then out here the album is trash. It's nothing memorable from it.
Yeah,
a couple memes and niggas posting the album cover and it's nothing memorable from it. It's just trash shit. Like I've been telling y'all, he's been giving y'all trash shit.
Mean music.
Mean music for the longest, for 10 years. Just trash shit.
Let's come clean.
Recycled shit. Garbage shit. Biting off niggas' flows. Every nigga that he got an album, he bit off their flow. And then he put them on the album so they could say, okay, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what you said.
Yeah.
Nut ass nigga. Like,
garbage, bro. Garbage shit.
And it's crazy because it's like, it's meme shit and it's only shit that can fit in memes. And you said that. You've been an advocate of that. You know what I mean? I look at it like too sexy for my shirt. You know what I mean? That type of shit. And it's like, that's meme shit. And the whole video is meme shit. You got Kawhi Leonard in a group dancing. It's like,
that's another nasty nigga. You just say your leg was fucked up. You didn't play the whole playoffs because your leg was fucked up, but you went there doing swim moves and grande plies and all this shit like that.
grande plie?
Yeah, the fuck is up this nigga? You know what I'm saying? Soutanews and all this shit. But
How you know about this shit, bro?
Huh?
How you know about that shit,
I
bro?
was in performing arts class. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta skip past that shit.
He doing the same shit. He doing the same shit. How you?
You got a torn ACL, nigga.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like it's all meme shit. Don't get me wrong. I played like I'm gonna say a good 8 tracks, and nothing was memorable. Nothing stuck for the most part. He had some bars up there, but he was on some like real soft singing shit.
Only shit I've been seeing is the Kanye shit. The shots at Kanye. That's all I've been saying.
And I think that, but it's funny because that's the thing that people are looking for. That's it.
That's probably what
that's the thing that he's looking for. Like I said, like natural sales. I feel like Kanye is doing. Literally, his income wise, of course, he's way past him. He's way past him.
He own the shit.
He's way past it. So I mean, there's no comparison. There's really no comparison when you talk about the two people. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Who's very innovative? Who's pushing culture forward? You know what I mean? Who's actually creating more avenues than just one?
Hey, listen, bro. We ain't gotta drag this shit out. Let's keep it nice.
You feel me? Simple as that, man. Certified Lover Boy 0.
We ain't got nothing for you.
Certified Lover Boy 0.
We ain't got nothing.
Straight like that, nigga. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't fuck all you Drake fans.
Yeah.
0, nigga.
We ain't got nothing for you.
On to the next, man.
Yeah, Kendrick, man.
On to the next, man.
K-Dot.
Listen, man. Listen. Look, man. It's a PSA, man. Get your shit together. Cause when K drop, this shit about to be crazy, bro. Hey, Stan, break this shit down for him real quick.
But now he dropping soon. Cause he got that on, I heard he registered like 10 songs. So if he registered like 10 songs, I mean he coming with something. He coming with something. They don't want him to drop next Friday. They don't want him to drop next Friday. You know this gonna be crazy too. His last top album.
Let's break this down a little bit.
Last Top Dog album.
We was wondering why K just disappeared, right? So for the last 3 albums, he just disappeared. He was in a cut, but he always delivered something small before he dropped the album. Why? What the fuck is going on? Like, what is K Dot doing? We thought that maybe he just, oh no, I'm just a real closed door person. I don't really like the outside shit. Something been building up for the most shit ever. He been building up for the crazy release, man. Like this shit is insane, bro. And then out of nowhere, you drop a fucking song called Family Ties. Where I'm gonna be honest, the verse I missed. I played the verse one time, never went back to it. And it wasn't until this man Statham had me sitting here and listen to this verse, and shit got real scary when I listened to it. Like the shit was like Nightmare on M Street, and I ain't even a rapper. At this point, it felt like Jay-Z telling Rockefeller that G-Unit coming. I feel like niggas should be on watch. I remember when the Control verse came out, he stopped the world. The world stopped when he put out that Control verse.
He mentioned names in the Control verse, right?
Yes.
So that's probably why that got more buzz than this. But this
this shit right here is deadly.
Nigga hits y'all with 20 different. He hits you with 20 different voices. First of all, that shit is amazing.
The nigga had a cartoon character.
Amazing, brother.
The nigga proper voice. He gave you K Dot, Kung Fu Kenny. He gave you Kendrick Lamar.
Gave you something else.
And then he told you he got more coming. He's 7 different niggas in one. I don't know what to do with this man.
That's a fact.
At this point, I thought niggas should be scared. The nigga first line on this song was
smoking on your top 5 tonight. That nigga said, I'm smoking on your top 5 tonight. That is crazy.
Not tomorrow. No? Not tonight. That nigga tell you he's better than anybody you put up against. No, let me. But they don't.
Then he followed it up with smoking on your what's his name tonight.
Understand this. He said your. He wasn't specific. That mean anybody listen to this song, he smoke. That mean he talking about KRS-One. That nigga is talking about the game. That nigga is not the game is top 5. Not the game is top 5.
No nigga top 5.
That nigga talking about Kanye. He's talking about J. Cole. That nigga's talking about Lil Baby, The Baby, A Baby, Baby. All them niggas, all the babies. He talking about Durky-O, Smirk, Jerk. That nigga talking about any and everybody who listens to this verse. Your top 5, I'm smoking on that nigga. Ain't nobody better. I feel sorry for any nigga that decides to respond to any K.Diss now. That nigga is an independent artist. He don't have to hold back.
That nigga said, last year y'all fucked up all the listeners. Who went platinum? I call that a visitor. Who the fuck backing them? All has been falsified. Yo, the crazy thing is, that nigga said, yeah, you went platinum last year. That's the only time once I drop. And once we roll out this PG Lang, PF Chang shit, you know what I'm saying? once we roll out this shit, ain't none of y'all niggas eating no more. So go ahead and eat up. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and eat up, because it's about to be over for you niggas. You feel me?
Listen, man. Talk that shit. I'm pro anybody that's willing to come out there and say, nigga, I'm the best ever. I'm willing to take... Any guy come out, I'm the best ever, nigga. Ain't nobody can top me. Cause at the end of the day, nigga, when you are who you are and you work on your craft, why the fuck you even consider yourself as that? When a nigga Wayne come out here and say I'm the best rapper ever, yeah, to you he may not be, but to himself he's the fucking best ever. Talk your shit, young man.
That nigga said that, hold on, let me get back to that, what's the name? Nigga said the Elohim, the rebirth. Before you get to the Father, you gotta talk to me first, bitch. Smoking on top 5s. Motherfuck that album, fuck that single, burn that hard drive. Come on, bro. What you talking about? Nigga say ain't nobody safe. When I come, I'm killing everybody that's outside. Yeah, Kanye changed his life, but me, I'm still an old school Gemini. Bro.
I feel bad for niggas. I'm sorry. Like, we know how lyrical Kendrick is. We know how we listen to Pimp My Butterfly.
But flows and it's good music.
But you listen to Pimp My Butterfly, and he's political, you cool, bro. I want for the people. But niggas fell to forget like Section 80 and shit like that, where he was Mad City and shit that. This nigga is nothing to play with, bro. He's a Swiss Army knife, bro.
I think somebody said this is the first time Kendrick actually sounded like he's from Cali. You know, like he actually sounded
like
he
on niggas' ass.
He a regular nigga, like
he on niggas' ass, bro. And you talk about like he came out and he was, like I said, he was super political. He's calling for the people, for equality. He telling you niggas like you in the moment activists, nigga, like you overnight activists. You niggas who come out and play, the niggas Instagram. That I be talking about all the time.
All niggas that you get your knowledge from Instagram, nigga. Instagram.
Okay, like, hey yo, K.Dot's coming, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And like I said, I'm one of the niggas that say like, yo, I'm a fanatic for niggas who got the mental and the mental capacity to put out lyrical and keep on your shit and do it over a soulful beat. Shout out to Mount, you know what I mean? Shout out to Kiamo, you know what I mean? Those people I put in the same breaths as, you know, lyrical geniuses, you know, where they talk about shit and there's something behind it, you know what I mean? So it's like, when K drop, I know he gonna have something to say. And it's gonna be big, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna be big, and I think this album gonna be good, but the following one is gonna be insane.
You kind of think about like, because he did announce, like, even an announcement saying that this was his last, you know, top dog album. So a lot of people thought he was retiring, but he got that PF Lane.
Nobody knows about that because
shit.
My man Stedham put that shit together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before he dropped that last album, he dropped that website. Where it was nothing on the website, we just went to the website, it was nothing on it. We didn't know what the fuck was going on. But then you speed forward and you understand that he's been mapping this shit out the whole way. And people who has been paying attention, they know exactly what's going on. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't even know Baby Keem was his cousin. Baby Keem signed to PF. That's crazy. Found out today. And Baby Keem is nothing but a baby him. Nasty.
And the thing is, like, you always want your successor. Right, so you want somebody who can take a torch, who can run with it. You know what I mean? And on top of that, he's Cali driven, so he got that wordplay that a lot of niggas will catch on to. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you can mold him, you can grow him. Oh my fucking god,
I'm
bro!
done politicking with the competition, nigga. What's the word?
Straight like that.
Like,
we get straight to it now.
I'm done playing with y'all. What's up?
I'm done. What's up? What you do?
What y'all trying to do? I'm here.
I got to
open up. What's up?
Listen, man. If K.Dot cut his hair, bro, it's over.
Come squabble. Nah, you ain't see the beard. This shit look like mine. You ain't see him?
That nigga look like mine.
What's the name? Tonight, like, nigga took. We haven't seen K.Dot in 5 years. You know he been growing this shit for 5 years, and he still got the stubs.
I feel sorry for niggas.
K.Dot ain't drinking no water. He ain't doing. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing but alcohol. Straight 40s, nigga. And wearing Lokes, you heard? Like straight like that, nigga. Ain't nothing but.
It's a fact.
I feel bad for niggas.
Yeah, nah,
I feel bad. It's gonna be interesting. It's interesting. I feel like interesting years are ahead of us. We got a great football season coming. We got a great basketball season coming. We got great albums coming.
Yeah.
Great albums dropped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like we're in a good place culture wise.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of niggas, we allow them like Jake Paul and them. We allow niggas to fake run with the shit. You know what I mean? Like, beat on that black brother. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Thankfully, it ain't February. If not, we had to do a motherfucking racial draft.
Yo, somebody got to pull up and stop this man, bro. You know what I'm saying?
A black man tried.
Many black men tried, and many black men fell. Somebody got to pull up on this brother, man. Do something. Can't beat him, join him.
And that gonna get done. That's like what's gonna happen, nigga. You see my man Drewski? We're right there, talking, laughing, and joking about it. Look, man, I get it, man.
Hey, put me in the ring with Drewski, man.
Yo, that nigga Drewski funny though. That nigga funny as hell. That nigga headline all the way over here, but it's fine.
Nah,
You
put,
feel me?
put me in the ring with him. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
Drewski like 6 something though.
I'm not with that.
Son
nigga.
tall as hell, bro. His
Yeah.
reach, man. He might tear your ass up. What?
Listen, I was waiting for Zab Judah to hit me back up. He never hit me back up though.
It wasn't Zab.
Yeah, but Zab the promoter though. You feel me? Hey Zab. man,
Yo,
what's
top
up, man?
5. Yo, top 5 funniest fucking lines I've ever seen in my life, my nigga.
Yo, listen.
That nigga said, what he said where he from?
Paru.
That nigga said,
Oh, you talking about that dude?
yeah.
That nigga say he from Brownstone, Brownsville.
Brownsville. Now, granted, if you're from New York, that might mean something. That's no disrespect to nobody hood. Let me break it down. If you're from New York, this might probably mean something. That shit don't mean nothing nowhere else. I don't know what the fuck niggas talking about. I get it. I get it.
You know, that's what he said to me. I'm like, that nigga live in a nice neighborhood.
Hey, wait, is that word? Brownstones. I love it.
Yeah.
Nigga, that nice car. They got white woman, big dog.
That's a fact.
White man, little dog. Motherfuckers jogging.
Yeah.
New York,
Bikes,
I get it.
City bikes. I'm like,
Bike-
damn, that nigga live
I love
in a
it.
good neighborhood.
Smart brownstones. His parents make money. You got it. Cool. I get it. Now I said no disrespect to that man hood. If that's where they from, I cool. That probably work in New York, but that shit don't ring bells everywhere else. If you say you're from New York, I felt a little more comfortable. Nick, it's North. Let's be honest. Nick, you say North anywhere, niggas are like, wait, hold up. From what part?
Yeah.
You say the South, best believe anybody fucking with you.
Now the thing is too though, a lot of y'all capping about being from Newark. Ant said he pulled somebody over the other day in Atlanta. I actually seen the Jersey license, asking where they were from. Nigga said I'm from Newark. Nigga said no you not.
No, you ain't neither. No, you ain't
That's
neither.
how you pronounce that shit, goddammit. Newark.
It's only one way of pronouncing North, and that's North. N-O-R-K.
Yeah.
North. If I catch you and say, hey, I'm from Newark. Newark.
That Newark shit is Delaware though. But she put
That's
out a
over
Jersey,
there.
she put out a Jersey ID.
She should have been smacked.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, you ain't from
You're not from here, sweetheart.
you ain't from there.
You're a resident.
Yeah.
You ain't from here. You're a resident. That's what, like I said. That's just my thing. When you say that shit, I say, oh, cool, you in a nice, clean neighborhood. I appreciate that.
Yo, Zab, man, set that up, man.
What's that, man?
Set that up, man. I was waiting for a response back till they hit me up on IG and nothing. You get me?
It's all fades. Nah, it's respectfully.
Yeah,
You feel
respectfully,
me?
man. We
You
can
feel
get
me? We
down
having
with
fun.
Well,
We having fun.
We can squabble.
Like I said, no, that's no disrespect for nobody hood.
Ain't nothing wrong with
But
it.
understand it. That shit didn't mean nothing when he said it. I said, oh, I don't recollect where that's from.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little dance.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to dance tonight. I want my money.
After I get that dub, nigga.
That's a
Get
fact,
that money.
man. But yo, let's be past some shit, man.
Yeah.
Sha'carri, man. Look, man. We had a conversation about
She
this.
probably was singing that Kendrick shit. Smoking
That's a fact.
top five. She ain't had nothing else to do, man.
That's what that Jamaican girl said. let me break this down. Like, and I said,
A little bit of that.
all due respect, man. You feel me? All due respect, man. Any wine drinker probably disappointed me the way I just poured that.
Find me.
But, alright, we had a conversation about Sha'carri, and the thing was, like, I like her. And I think she will bounce back. But now I look at it, and a lot of my statements that I said I think was true.
She came in
I
fourth.
feel like she came in fourth. Eighth. It's sad because it's like now, when you run, you're no longer running for the same thing you ran for before. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel now.
Whose fault is that?
So you run, now you're running for the fact that you got to prove yourself every time you run now. It's no longer just the love of it now. You know what I mean? That's my thing now. Because now think about it. When she ran this time, she didn't even win. Why the fuck is she the first person y'all interviewing? Hey, Sha'carri! You lost. When the last time we actually let somebody lose had that microphone? Now, what you love, look what you love, because now you're critiqued on everything you do now.
Jeez.
That love is no longer there now. Now you're running to prove something now. And it's fucked up, bro, because it's don't have to be that. It's not that serious, bro.
The part is that weed is legal in her state, and she can't pick the sour blunt back up.
That big.
She picked the sour blunt back up. She
that thoink. What they that bitch call that bitch?
Thoink.
Them thoinks. You feel me?
That thoink back up. She Speedy Gonzalez. You feel me? That shit cleared up mine, and she out. She can't do it no more.
It's fucked up. And now, do I think that she'll ever be able to run to that speed again? Of course.
Sure, yeah, you can't
of course. She was sitting down for 3 months. I think it's 3 months.
Yeah, she got to get back. She got to get back.
So you got to get to the next
progress, though. She went from what? She went from 8th or 9th to 4th. So she is making progress. I mean, as long as them Jamaican motherfuckers stay out of her way.
Blood fire!
As long as they can stay out of her way, she making progress, though.
Look, man, that's how I feel. So, like I said, and when I had that conversation, it wasn't to diminish her character. It's to now show her the reality, and that the fact that the reality is this, is that we make choices and those choices affect us down the line. So, and in fact, although it may have not detrimental changed her life completely, like physically, but now mentally, now she have to run a different race now. Like I said, you can say that all you want.
It all depends.
But now,
I mean, success is
individual to the individual.
That's
to the individual. But let's be honest, bro.
I mean, the thing is, like, y'all niggas want her to be the fastest nigga out there.
I don't.
Yo,
I'm okay if she ran and
she got the press, she got the deals, she got the money. You know what I'm saying? She can be able to take care of family.
Right, but think about this. Think about this.
That's a win.
Right, that's true.
In every category, that's a win.
True.
That's what you're for.
But you gotta. No, it's not. That's not always true. That's not always true.
Stop.
Understand this. People go.
Yo, you think Sebastian Telfair gave a fuck about winning the championship?
Who?
Sebastian Telfair. Young boy from Coney Island. That's what's name. Stephon Marbury, I think, cousin. Stephon Marbury and Steve Francis, they cousin. One of them niggas.
That boy was nasty.
He's from Coney Island. But you think he gave a fuck about winning the championship? He got the bread. He took it back to his neighborhood. We on.
Right.
You fuck about winning the championship, nigga. That's y'all. That's what y'all want to do.
I agree.
I'm good. My people good.
I agree.
You feel me?
Some people aspirations are to make it to the league. Listen. Just make it to the league. If I make it open this motherfucking if I go into this door and I'm here for 3 months, I have succeeded.
Right,
I'm saying, wait. I succeed, but listen.
Same thing about Kwame Brown.
But
y'all call Kwame Brown.
First of all, I ain't speaking on that man.
Yeah,
that man is something serious. That man will fuck you up. That man will fuck you.
But I'm saying, a lot of y'all niggas.
He was about to push Stephen A. shit back further.
I know.
That nigga was not playing with Stephen A. He wanted to fight.
It's a lot of pushing back. It's a lot of pushback on that pushback. You feel what I'm saying?
A lot of pushback on that pushback.
That pushback. But I get that. But like people said, oh, he was a bust, this and that, blah, blah, blah. That nigga said, yo, I got on to change my family lives. That's a win.
That's a fact.
That's the only thing I cared about.
That's a fact.
That's a win. How the fuck could I be a what's name? I'm 36 mil up. How could I be a loser? I'm not.
I agree. As I said, so I feel like a lot of people came in and they had so much to say, right? I agree.
How many people know about Sha'carri than they ever would have?
Yeah, of course, because of that. I get you. But my thing is, everybody,
people
like you said,
charisma, personality, like
people's success is to the individual. That is defined by the individual. Some people, they don't necessarily they have the money. They have everything they want. All they want is the championship. Some niggas have everything. What do you think? Why do you think Melo signed with the Lakers? You think he won it because he won another fucking scoring title?
Niggas can't ask him.
I get you. But understand this.
Nigga, at the end of the day,
listen.
It's pickup ball.
That's what it is.
It's pickup ball. Yo, you want to come run this full right quick? Of course, I ain't got nothing else to do this year. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna do it, but still, to the individual, his success is alright, cool. I'm successful because I made it in the NBA. I have scoring titles. I'm successful, but
I wouldn't say that's made him successful.
But that's right what he needed. That's right what he wanted. That's right it. He changed his family life, like you just said. You ain't gonna contradict yourself, man.
Changed his family life.
He changed his family life. So his ideas. I did all this shit, and I don't feel sick. I don't feel 100% because I haven't done this.
I know he don't feel 100%. He told you that.
Niggas, understand this.
I'm asking.
You're never almost a champion.
You know he don't feel like.
You're never almost a champion. You never almost. Niggas don't look at you for that. If LeBron never won a fucking championship, we would never be having a conversation about this man. He a great ass player. But what do you want to do?
Still talk about Charles Barkley.
Who?
Hey, come on, stop.
Who talk about Charles, man?
We're not doing that. Everybody talk
Who talk about Charles Barkley?
Everybody.
Who?
Super power forwards, he always mentioned.
What? Okay, he's mentioned as
Always.
statistical.
Always.
Anybody pulling no motherfucking Charles Barkley?
Always.
When has Charles
He
Barkley
ain't
been
doing
featured
shit,
on
nigga.
anybody fucking podcast other than when he's on TV?
That's all you need.
And his fucking, like, literally.
They do way more numbers than any podcast.
I agree.
Damn shit, come on, that's all you
I
need,
agree.
bro.
I still don't think, nah. Like, man,
So you
that's how I
need-
feel about it, man.
That's all you need, man.
I feel like she's just running, she's running different, she's running a different race now.
What else you got to document?
She's definitely running a different race now.
I feel like you just targeting this black woman.
What?
I feel like you targeting that black woman, man.
But get the fuck out now. I'm targeting black women. Hey, protect our black queens, man.
Always.
Protect our black queens, man. We always on that tip. We always on that. We forever on that. You know what I mean? Shout out to Sha'carri. I wish her the best. I hope her the best. I hope she get back to what she need to do. I hope she can actually run the way she used to run, you know, and not be under pressure the way that she is now, man. So shout out to her, man.
She's got to get a little loose. She's got to get a little loose.
It's tense. It's tense.
She seemed a little
tense.
stiff when she was running last time. She's got to
tense.
get a little loose.
She'll be alright, but I want to switch modes, man. I've been thinking about this shit a little bit, man. I just want to ask you a simple question. Who are your top 5 black comedic actors, man?
I hate this top 5.
Top 5 black, okay, top 10, whatever. Let's list some black comedic actors, man. And tell me why. I feel like that's another reason
Actors
why.
are just comedians.
That's a comedian. So if, I mean, you can take comedics, you can say ones that transition to actors,
Exactly, okay.
whatever the case may be. But I think stand up is a little bit different because stand up niggas is lethal. Some of these people are lethal.
Yeah.
Like I don't look at Martin Lawrence as a lethal stand up artist.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle is lethal
Yeah.
stand up.
No, I think
Paul Mooney is lethal.
I think Paul Mooney my number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, Paul Mooney my number 1. I found out about Paul Mooney like later on. You know what I'm saying? Like
Rest in peace, too.
rest in peace, yeah. I found out about him. I forget that name. I forget that special he came out with. Jesus is Black and So is Cleopatra. That was like the first special I watched of Paul Mooney, right? And that shit like changed my life. Like when that first came out and that first hit, bro, that changed my life because that was the first time I ever heard like political shit in comedy.
Right.
Where you just getting into the political issues that we're going through, the social and racial, issues that we're going through. You put that into a joke and you just talk however you want to talk about it. He was free on stage, bro. Free on stage, regardless of whatever the case may be of all the shit that came up about during his last days or whatever. But regardless of that, I mean, he even put Richard Pryor on. He was a tutor.
Right for him.
Yeah, he put him on. So I mean, when you think of that, he's definitely my number 1. Like his jokes, bro, it's just like amazing. Like his jokes is just insane, bro. I remember the nigga said, nigga was saying gas prices are so high, right? He's talking about how gas prices are so high in LA. That nigga said it hasn't been a drive-by in 3 months. Niggas in LA like, oh shit, I can't afford to kill that nigga. Gas is so high. And that was like one of the funniest shits he told me. I mean, one of the funniest shits I ever heard from him. Second, I would probably have to do Cat Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Cat Williams.
So you want your political shit. I get you with that.
Yeah. So I probably have to do Cat Williams. Cat Williams, almost like from that same cloth, just don't give a fuck when they tell you what he feel. Gonna rub people the wrong way, a lot of people the wrong way. But he's gonna give it to you how you feel. You know what I'm saying? It's pure. A lot of that shit comes from the head. Like a lot of the shit he freestyling. You get me? But yeah. The next is Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams, they like interchangeable for me. You know what I'm saying? I want to be so cliche and put Dave Chappelle all the way at the top, and I think he might be my number 2 actually. I think he might be my number 2.
This man is picking all lethal stand up.
Yeah, like
all lethal stand up.
Like when it comes down to comedy, like
Yeah,
I mean, comedy and then like I told you, like the political shit, like
lethal
that's like
stand-up.
big for me, bro. Like I'm really into like the political thing and just hearing these people talk about certain issues, bro, and not scared to tackle those issues.
Yeah.
Not scared, bro. That's a different thing. Like when you're not scared to talk about some shit, when you're not, not afraid to, offend niggas, that's different.
4.
I mean, I don't want to go off of I got it for. He ain't black, so I can't even put him in there. I don't got a 4 though. I think I think man. I got a lot of honorable. Like honorary mentions up there. Yeah, I mean, I could probably leave it at 3.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Other people work. I haven't experienced that much.
Where this came from was I'm sitting down, right,
Mm-hmm.
and we know of comedians that have done big things. You know, your Martin Lawrences, you know, your Will Smiths and all those guys. Cat Williams
Will Smith is my favorite actor, by the way.
Cat Williams and people like that. You know, even to Mike Epps and people like that. But I think where this conversation stemmed from was having a conversation, and I'm on Netflix, and I'm really looking, and I'm like, yo, like, no, I was watching Dreamgirls. Don't know how this shit came on, so I watched it, right? So, and I noticed how dominant Eddie Murphy was in that movie, and I'm like, yo, but through this whole movie, somebody who stayed consistent. Jamie Foxx. So I did my little research and I'm saying, why we never give Jamie Foxx the credit? Like, let's be honest, like, respectfully, Martin.
I'm sorry, 4th, Chris Tucker. Chris
Boy
Tucker,
nasty.
I'm sorry, I gotta put him in there.
We never give Jamie Foxx the credit that he's due. Right?
Yeah.
He had a Jamie Foxx show. That went under the radar.
That shit was trash.
I'm be honest.
Yeah, that shit was trash.
That went under the radar mostly because you had so many good sitcoms.
That shit was trash.
They had so many good sitcoms at the time. You had Martin. You had all these. You had the Bernie Mac show.
5. Marlon.
Marlon Wayans?
5.
I respect you. I respect you, my guy.
That's my 5.
I mean, Keenan Ivory Wayans is really my boy, including Damon.
But Marlon,
Damon,
but I can't even say
Marlon
really don't
yeah.
stand up like that.
Only reason I like Marlon because he's a natural funny.
But yeah,
he's who he is.
I watched a couple of interviews where he's baking niggas in the interview.
He'll cook the shit out you.
He's cooking. Podcast, that Nori podcast.
Now,
he's baking niggas in the podcast.
He tips on the borderline of being completely extra. Yeah. But I feel like it's him being him and he's not trying to, figure out anything. But I looked at Jamie Foxx and I said, yo, this is a fucking legend, bro. Yeah. Jamie Foxx show. Go back to it. Pete, bro. I'm sitting there. I said, what the fuck? Why the fuck don't we get this man his credit?
Because he's still doing
my nigga. Well. He did Soul. It just came out recently. I know that might go over niggas' head. It's a Disney movie. Mm-hmm. Ray. Any Given Sunday, bro.
Facts.
Players Club.
Facts.
Pulse. Those are legendary fucking movies.
Facts.
Booty Call. Legendary fucking movies,
That's where a lot of y'all niggas got that hairstyle from. When Ian started running around with that shit, with that Booty Call shit. With the braids on. With the motor jet. Cycle jet. Stop. Buns. Come. We just point out a point of reference. That's all we do.
Law-abiding citizen. His headline was fucked up. Headline fucked up. Miami Vice. That might have been a miss because a lot of black people didn't watch that motherfucker. But that's more of a white people thing. But it was there. The Soloist. Let me break this shit down.
Soloist was crazy. That was crazy.
This is the only man.
That's range too. That's like crazy range. That's like crazy range right there. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Django. Bro, Annie. It's a fucking white film.
What's that sci-fi shit that he played in?
Like
some sci-fi shit that he played in, like he was like.
I forgot the name of that shit, but it's up. But I picked the ones that niggas would like. It would ring bell. Why the fuck are we not talking about him, bro?
I think because he's still active. I think that's the only thing I can kind of think about.
He's working on Mike Tyson biopic.
That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy.
The nigga is crazy when it comes to voiceovers. See, my thing is, I think my issue, and I think why we tend to take him for granted is because...
Yeah, niggas sing too, though. sing, play the piano.
And I think we take him for granted because he's humble.
Hmm.
He's humble. He don't come out here and smash you in the face with it. He rolled out the Jamie Foxx show and didn't tell you he was a singer. He sprinkled a little shit in the Jamie Foxx show. Cool. He got range. Let's be honest.
You know who did his first placement though?
What's that?
Kanye.
I remember that too.
Kanye was using his studio.
I remember that. So it's like Kanye broke this man's record. He got him into the industry when it comes to singing. And Jamie Foxx is a damn good singer. The nigga sung Ray Charles songs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason he got the biopic for Ray Charles. Why are we not giving this man his flowers?
Mm-hmm.
Why he's here? You niggas gonna wait till this man is gone and say, hey man, he was the greatest man. Oh man, I can't believe it.
We need to get that man. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Let's go, man.
I knew it already, but like when it's on paper, when it's on black white, it just means
you look at that shit.
It's insane.
Yo.
Yeah, it's next level.
He did shit that you'd be like, wait, whoa.
Yeah, no, he's next level.
And it make you take a step back and say, he's not just a comedian. This nigga is the full out thing.
And he's an activist too.
He's actively in the community. Not today, not tomorrow. He not posting that bitch on TV.
Yeah.
He ain't in his Instagram. Hey, look where I'm at, y'all. He has done it, but that's not his thing. He's been active.
Mm-hmm.
He's dealing with when it comes to like a pro. When it comes to like health underlying issues like ADHD and shit like that because he had a sister who has I think Down syndrome. You know what I mean? So he's been active in that, and he never talk about that shit. But he got shit going on at home too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my thing is that, like, yo,
stand up 100%.
this is a stand-up man.
100%.
Give this man his fucking flowers, man. Yeah, he may not be in most niggas' top 5, but because of his range, he's in my top 5. I gotta knock certain niggas out of the top 5 now because the range ain't there.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, I'm looking at now, with all due respect, I think he's one of the top niggas.
You kind of cornered me with the stand-up though. You get me?
Yeah, no. That's I said including everybody because I never. Jamie Foxx don't really do stand-up like that. He did stand-up back in the day. He did back in the day, but he don't really do the nowadays. But I said it because his range is crazy because he survived in his trenches when it was stand-up.
Yeah, sure.
He survived in them trenches. But then he goes straight to a living color and he hold his fucking own.
Because Chris Tucker was nasty too when it came down to
But you think about it, Chris Tucker became more lethal after Fridays. Because even his movie range is crazy.
Yeah.
You think about it, Rush Hour 2, it was funny, but I think his best one was recent. Like 2010, I think he came when he came back from all the bullshit.
Early shit, bro. And that nigga said his early on shit. That nigga was like, nigga said you ever give something to somebody so long that you had to borrow it back. You know what I'm saying? Like you let a nigga use your broom and shit.
You get it? Can I borrow your broom?
Yeah. Right. Nigga, that shit was hilarious. Like that whole bit right there. And he had a couple bits that was funny, bro. Like I'm not gonna lie.
I just feel like that shit right there though, but the range and the movies that he has done sets him apart. The nigga played the movie with T.I. You know what I mean? I forgot the name of it.
It's another movie. I guess I'll talk about it when we go into other what's next.
Yeah, but like the range is crazy. So we gotta start talking about people with range and the fact that these niggas came up as comedians. They came up, but they was able to branch out. And I know you say Kevin Hart don't have that range. And now when I compare him to Jamie Foxx, he don't have that range. He's here. He can't get, like, when I see Jamie Foxx, I can still think about this dumb shit he do. When I see him doing the Jamie Foxx show. Roaches, the roaches get out. Yeah, I can still see that shit, but when I see him on a real part where he's playing a cop, I believe that shit. When you see the soloist, you don't see nothing but this nigga is killing this shit. He's killing this shit. So, right? Yeah, but he was crazy with the piano. And he really did that. That was his part. He really played that shit. So it's insane, man. That man range. And I know I probably don't talk about my top 5, but most of my top 5 do have the same people that you have in it. not to exclude Paul Mooney, but because I'm just new on Paul Mooney. I didn't really understand Paul Mooney when I was growing up. I didn't get the politics. It's actually a tough listen when you first listen to him because he's give you the harsh truth. He don't sugarcoat shit. He gonna tell you how it is, and that's how it is. You know what I mean? And that's just that. Dave Chappelle is the watered down one of him, basically. I think. And now, look. I'm gonna say why I say that. It's because I think Dave Chappelle.
Cheesy, though.
No. Okay, I'm gonna say it like this. I was able to deal with Dave Chappelle's as opposed to Paul Mooney's. Paul Mooney has say the uncomfortable shit.
Yeah.
And not give a fuck. White people killed Malcolm X.
But I'm kind of...
Now, I can see Dave Chappelle saying that, but I can see him more in a joking manner.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle, Paul Mooney is straightforward.
So, yeah. It's kind of weird how
white people love Wayne Brady.
It's kind of funny how, like, when you see so many people like leave his shows, like every show that he had, bro, niggas is getting up, walking out. Now you know you're gonna be the topic from this point on for the next 30 minutes. Now he's gonna roast you. You get me? For the next 30 minutes. But it's like, yo, y'all know what y'all going into when you go into a Paul Mooney show.
That's what it is. And like I said, he's top. So I would have to add those boys in. I'm gonna have to add, like, Damian Wayans. I think Damian Wayans is underrated. I think he has, and he got a natural charisma about himself.
His pen is crazy.
Niggas been writing for things.
Keenan,
that boy's sick. He's sick. And I think that's what people, the likes of Marlon, get that shit from, because he come from a family of genius. Like these let's be honest.
Even his sister, Kim
if you go back and you really do your research,
Kim Wayans is crazy too.
These niggas been doing so many movies and underlining writing for niggas movies. But guess what? They don't give a fuck about being in front of the camera and saying I'm doing that.
Funny thing
niggas know who they is.
I forgot the name of the show, but they got like Jennifer Lopez came from there, Jim Carrey. Like it's a lot of them.
Living Color. It sparked. Let's be honest, man.
Sparked a lot of shit.
Jim Carrey, Living Color. You know these people names because of them, and they career took off from there. You know what I mean? And like I said, granted, it probably still would have taken off, but it started there. And it's crazy because in Living Color was so socially conscious. Insensitive too to a lot of situations.
Yeah.
You had Damian Wayans who come out and come off as a transsexual. You know what I mean? You had Jamie Foxx, you know what I mean, come out, with a dress on. And very insensitive conversations, and this shit, that shit still played today.
Yeah. Yep. No,
you know what I mean? So I think comedy is in a good place, but like I said, my point was to bring up that, man, and people that we don't really recognize in our top 5, and people that we don't think about all the time. Jamie Foxx, man. Jamie fucking Foxx, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. I had to put that up there, man. It had to happen, man.
I guess.
Yeah, man.
We're going into our next topic.
As we should, man.
But I think the perfect thing too, that a movie that you didn't mention that has something to do with the next topic. So I love when things happen like this. Kingdom.
I heard
Kingdom.
Ain't that Beyonce shit?
No. So Kingdom was a movie. I think it was kind of about the terrorist attacks in 9/11, which we're gonna speak about in a little bit. But it was about Jamie Foxx, who was a federal agent in America. He goes to, I believe it's Iraq or Afghanistan inside the movie. I forget what, I haven't watched it so long. And he goes as an agent, and he's trying to investigate a suicide bombing that killed a bunch of American journalists.
That sounds familiar as hell.
Mm-hmm. So he goes to, he ends up becoming like best friends with like this Iraqi policeman or Afghani policeman, whichever one, I forget what it is. Afghani policeman, and he ended up becoming close, right, to the point where like at first they hated each other.
Right.
It was a language barrier. They're Muslim versus what's name, so certain things you can do with a body or certain things you can say, all this and that. So it had something to do with that. And at the end of the movie, the Afghani policeman ended up getting killed, and you had to go speak to the kids. It's a good movie though. It's a really great movie, bro. Like I'm surprised like that was like not like a. Every chance I get, I watch that movie.
I think it's like I said. I think it's sad because
movie, it's a beautiful movie.
It's like he takes scripts that most people probably wouldn't You know what I mean? And a lot of his scripts mean something.
Because I'm not too sure if that script was supposed to be like a major script.
It probably wasn't. It probably wasn't.
His name, it became
right.
I forget who released it, but that's a major fucking. If you haven't watched that movie, you should go out and watch that movie. You know, since 9/11, we coming up on the 9/11 anniversary. It's a great fucking movie, bro. Kingdom, like really great movie.
Definitely check that out.
Like,
man.
then it kind of shows you like the difference between like like the Iraqi policeman, like it was doing certain things, right? And it was American actually lived there, so it was actually different people. You know, they versions of what happened. You know, with the suicide bomber, trying to put together different things, right? And they went to this one guy's house. It happened to be a white guy, American, and he went to his house, and you know, Jamie Foxx introduced himself as an FBI agent from America, this and that. So he didn't want to speak to Jamie Foxx. He was pretty much cursing out the Afghani policeman, right?
Right.
Then he said something like, "Oh, does Allah care about your family more than he care about mine?" You know, does he care? Because he said that, and it's crazy. Like this is the part. Like this part was like the sick throughout the whole movie. Man said, he was explaining to Jamie Foxx what happened, and he said, when I came home, he said my son was sitting there with a box of Band-Aids trying to put his mother's jaw back on. Because niggas sprayed the crib up. You get what I'm saying? And they did like this bomb and shit.
Right.
He said he had a box of Band-Aids trying to put his mother's jaw back on. And they said, does Allah care about your family more than he care about mine? Does Allah do this more than he care about mine? You know, so it's such a beautiful movie, bro. Like, talk about the different cultures and everything like that, bro. That's shit, bro.
That might be the movie tonight, man.
Kingdom,
you might check that out, man.
Kingdom,
For sure, man. Like I said, man, add that minute to your top 5, man. Do your research, man. Let's not just look at shit, what you done for me lately. Look at shit, look at track record. Look at track. Let's rate niggas the same. Let's rate comedy the same way we rate our albums.
Facts.
Let's do statistical work and see how don't rate off numbers. Rate off consistency. Rate off range. Rate off those things. Like Kanye brings range. Jay-Z brings range. You know what I mean? And delivery. And I think although Jamie Foxx never always in the box office and everything, not a big smash hit, but son is consistent in his delivery. But yeah, man, what's next, man? What we got, man?
I guess you can stick on. It's a lot of shit. I guess we get into some political shit. So since we started with, since we mentioned Afghanistan and things like that, I'm sure you've been in the news lately.
Of course.
And watching a lot of shit that's been going on in Afghanistan, where we pulled out the rest of the troops.
Taliban and everything. Yeah.
So the Taliban, finally took over. It's the first time in 20 years I think they've regained control over the country again.
They took over like U.S. militant, like
yeah. But it was like a peace
tanks and shit.
Yeah, it's like a thing signed. So, I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that. Like, how do you feel about because I know there's a lot of backlash with I think Obama had promised it that we was pulling the troops, and I know during his regime, he was slowly pulling troops out. 10,000 this year. 15,000 the next year. He's pulling people away from there. Biden just pulled out every single person, every single, U.S. military troop from out of there. How do you feel about that? I know it's like a lot of backlash, like people was pretty pissed off about that.
Yes and no. And I always say it's always gonna come off as bias, you know what I mean? Because we are U.S., you know what I mean, and they are who they are. And I think a lot of times, like, when our war is going on, no one's backing us. You know what I mean? We gotta handle that shit ourselves. But I see what the U.S. have always done is always help people. They have always tried to, help countries and shit like that who couldn't fend for themselves, and people are doing them wrong for the most part. I feel like U.S. is that stepbrother. I always want to step in for shit. Hey, that ain't right. We gotta fix that. I'm gonna help you fix it. And we do that shit so much that now we're expected to do that. We're expected to help people. And is that a wrong assumption? No. That's what we have come to be, right? When you're strong, no one asks you, "Are you okay?" U.S. is looked at as a strong being, a strong entity. No one is really looking and seeing how bad we're hurting. And I think that's what's going on. Now we're like, no, we got to focus on self a little bit more than we focus on everything else.
So you have no problems with them pulling people out?
So, do I think it's wrong what they did? Yes, you shouldn't have volunteered your service in the first fucking place. But now you have a duty to help these people. Because you have been here for 37 years any fucking way. So, when you start to pull things out, like I said, morally, is it right? No. It's not right, bro. Because now these people are suffering. These people are suffering now. But it's your fault now because you don't want to step in and put that fucking Superman cape on. You wanted to do this. But now it's time to go and now shit. So it's one of those things. It's one of those damn if you do, damn if you don't things. So I'm a little bit on the cusp of saying yes and no. Because, like, once again, the U.S. got a way of putting themselves in shit. And when it's time to pull out, the shit is on us now. You know what I mean? The shit is on us. So to everybody who's going through things over there in Afghanistan, you know, I know they believe in Allah, so I won't say God. I believe, you know, I hope that Allah is with you guys.
Some of you, the vast majority of the population, yeah.
You know, and if you are with God, you know, may God be with you. And I think, you know, I see you guys through this troubling time, because things are bad. You know, things are really bad. You know, and it's sad to see people see what's going on there, and I sit back. We don't have none of that shit going on in our, you know, in our backyard, but you guys do. So I say, you know, my prayers out to everybody who's out there and dealing with that. But it's U.S. fault, man. Yeah. It's U.S. fault, and that's just my thing. So I'm walking that line.
It's kind of so I watched this documentary, right? It's on Netflix. Just recently, because I was following that for a minute. I was super fascinated with that. I mean, I've been on record saying, you could probably vouch for this, like me saying I don't want to take a visit over there. You all looked at me like I was a fucking idiot. I said I want to take a visit over there. So when I watched that clip, right, they give you they try to give you a overall view of how it started. You know what I'm saying? Up until just recently. And it's always like, I know how you mentioned, like, you know, U.S. being like a stepbrother, right? And always wanting to step in and do things like that. But the way they painted it is like maybe U.S. went in for their own agenda.
I don't want to get into that, but we can get into that.
I mean,
that's exactly what it is. Let's be completely honest. The oil, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We understand. We understand that there was an alliance before Bush came into office. We understand that there's a Bush senior who actually had endeavors with Bin Laden. That's fine. We can talk about that. Trading guns for oil. We can really talk about that. That is a big thing, and it was in there for self. And understand once the U.S. started producing their own oil. They struck that motherfucking mine. Yeah, we good. We don't really need them no more. Well, we don't really need them because now we're producing it here. So that's what the battle always has been. So to say what you just said, yes, they was there for self-agenda.
Yeah.
But to the blind people, it's more just that, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or it's like, because I think they came in. I think, and this is like a lot of, so like with the Soviet Union was taking over Afghanistan, right? And the U.S. stepped in.
Right.
And they helped. You know what I'm saying? It was bombing the
on agenda though.
Nah, but this is way before you get into that shit, right? Stepped in, bombing shit up. You know what I'm saying? When they had, the group now, the Talibans, right? They had the Talibans, and they had, which is supposed to be like a peace group, right? They was like freedom fighters,
right.
You get me? That was the initial source, freedom fighters, and they was fighting against the Soviets and shit like that. And the U.S. came, and the U.S. ended up helping them, right? And they defeated the Soviets, blah, 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 remained the independency. Story goes on, right? But in that particular time, they was passing on, guns. A lot of money was going into, what's the name? So, the Taliban's got the guns, Taliban's got the money, got the tanks, got the RV, got the guns, like whatever, the rocket launches, like whatever you can.
They got the resources.
They got the resources now because we're supplying them, right? A few years later, or a couple years later, the Taliban start to, I think it was like 10 or 15 years later, the Taliban starts to take over, right? The country, right. From the Afghani government. Right. The U.S. steps in once again. So the same people that they was deeming as heroes and shit like that, now they deeming as terrorists, right? Radical groups and shit like that. So they jumped in, and the fight was against them. Right. You feel me? So the fight was against them, whatever the case may be. And this is right after, those 9/11 incidents happened. So they jump in, try to fight and shit like that. But somebody had said it. I think one of the Taliban leaders, the former Taliban leader, was like, "Yo, when we was fighting the Soviet, for the same shit we fighting against y'all was calling us freedom fighters. But now we fighting against y'all for the same shit that we was fighting against the Soviets now, and now we terrorists." You know what I'm saying? He said, how would you feel? Let's say Canada came down here, started running shit, blowing shit up, this and that, how would you feel? Would you strap up and go out there? Or would you just sit back and let things happen? Maxing. You gonna strap up, right? So that's what a lot of these 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds are doing with the Taliban. They're like, yo, we witnessing y'all doing, you get what I'm saying? Dropping bombs and killing innocent motherfuckers. Bro, I did not know 220,000 people got killed in the Afghan war. 220,000.
They don't take them numbers anyway.
But 220,000 Afghan people, bro. A lot of them being innocent people.
I'm about to say that. Yeah.
Was killed, bro. You get me? So of course, if I'm looking at it from that standpoint, it's like, yeah, I'm with the tallies, nigga. You get me? I'm with the tallies.
I just killed my uncle, my brother. Yeah, nah, you
and they was innocent niggas.
You got me fucked up.
But I get it from the American point of view too. You find me? I get it from the American point of view too, where it's like, yo, the Taliban, they don't wear uniform. They blend in with the regular, populace. You get me? Like they blend in with regular niggas. So at any point, a regular motherfucker can come up to you, blow everything up. So you don't know who you dealing with. So you shooting everybody. I get it from that standpoint too. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the motherfuckers that was over there fighting, they didn't even know what they was fighting for. They thinking they fighting for 9/11 when, it was a completely different agenda. You get me? Then how they translate into how they get into Iraq and start fighting against Saddam Hussein, and all that shit again. Like it's
insane, man.
It was insane. You get what I'm saying? But
it's crazy because then like the tragedy of 9/11 happened, and I know you wanted to mention that. You know what I mean? And I think that itself was just like tragic.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, and I guess we've been in here before. I guess we could tell stories that people told us. We got to get names, anything like that.
I won't.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we could kind of tell tell a few stories, but I vividly can remember it. And we're approaching 9/11. I think it was the 20th anniversary. It's the 20th anniversary. Man, 20 years ago, bro. Like 20 years ago. Like I still can pinpoint like where I was at. I still remember I was in the computer lab when it happened. Miss Lebo class, Spencer, Louis Spencer. I still remember that, bro. When shit went down, you feel me? And it was just different, bro. Like everything from that point on was just completely different.
It's funny because I remember where I was at too. I was getting enrolled in Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. School on 8th Street. I remember doing the whole process and everything like that. We get everything done, and the last part was like to go upstairs to the class where I was going to be at. So now classroom's going to be live. You couple kids yelling and screaming and shit like that. But it was like I remember coming in, walking up the stairs, and we get to the room. I'm lying. We get to the office to go sign in. And back then they had the little small TVs with the antenna and shit where they used to play like a little network TV. And on the screen, we seen the towers being hit. And I'm a kid. I see it, but I don't really know how it affects me because I don't know what the fuck going on. I remember vividly because the smoke was coming over to Jersey. So it was like, I'm sitting, I'm like, cool, what the fuck going on? Cool, whatever. So we get upstairs. Then we get upstairs, I'm going to this room. Miss Jemison was my actual teacher. She had the lights off, and all the students was completely quiet. And they just was watching this shit on TV. I remember the TV was blue and fucking like gray. Don't know why she had a blue and gray TV, but I remember vividly because when I came in the room,
that school ain't had no resources.
Right, yo, she didn't. The thing is, she didn't even address me because of what was going on TV. It was like she just was staring there and I'm like, what the? Now I didn't know the severity of the situation at that time because you're a kid, you don't know, and when I really sat there, we really heard and seen what was going on, we realized that what had just happened. Mm-hmm. And I remember me looking at the screen, and that's when the screen go black. That's when the second tower got hit. And I'm like, okay, that whole day was eerie as hell, bro. And not that anyone at that time knew that they had lost somebody, but they just knew that was one of the biggest fucking catastrophes ever. Yeah, you know what I mean? And American soil, that's the biggest threat. And I remember only thing I remember, and I hated it to the most was Bush just sat there for 15 minutes.
Yeah, but I think I can
relate too.
You at a school, you get what I'm saying?
Reading books, yeah. Something
completely different. And they said they first told him, one of his secretaries approached him first about the first tower. It's a mini twin engine plane, hit the Twin Tower building, blah blah blah. They said they told him in front of the principal. You get me? And they was like, both Bush and the principal was like, oh man, you know, maybe the guy caught a heart attack, blah, 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 this and that.
Yeah.
And then he twin engine plane. That was it. He crashed into the Twin Towers. You get me? So then,
You
as
read the
he's
book.
sitting down, you know what I'm saying, getting into it, dude come rush up. Yeah, you know.
Tower 2's got hit.
Tower 2 just got hit. We under what's it? We under attack, terrorist attack on domestic soil. What else you gonna do, bro? Nigga
Yeah,
tell you
Trinity
that.
was
What you
right.
gonna do? You,
Dave Chappelle. Fuck that, we out of here. Flip the water over. Let's go, nigga. I've been waiting for a nigga to act up.
But you know, this is on
I
TV.
get you.
You got the kids in here, you know what I'm saying? You trying to tell them to stay in school and shit like that, and then something like that happened. It's like, man, like, you stuck. We never had shit like that happen. I mean, of course, they
Talked about
They
it.
tried to bomb shit before this and that. It was unsuccessful.
And
We never
never-
had nothing of that magnitude.
No, Tyler, yeah, think about it. At that time, too, like, niggas jumping out windows. People
And
are doing all this kind
That's the
of...
thing.
The world is really shook
talk.
at that moment. The world is really shook at that moment.
And I think, so I followed that story, right? Because I really didn't understand what was going on, like you said. Every year on the anniversary, I followed the story. Up until when I got old to
I think you
actually...
more and more and more every year, actually. Okay.
When I actually got a chance, it was one of these documentaries I was watching. I forget what it was, but every year I would watch
Excuse me.
just people recounting what happened and stuff like that. And I think when I got to, I don't know if I was in high school or about to graduate, and I seen this documentary. I think it was on HBO, and they mentioned people jumping from the windows. And in this particular video I watched, you hear the audio
Smacking the
people
ground.
hitting the ground. Finish me, bro.
That shit hurt.
Finish me.
That shit
Because you
sounded
think
like
about being
gunshots,
trapped,
yeah.
bro. The way the planes hit, like, I think it was like from the 92th floor and up, like you trapped, bro. You can't get out. So it's either you burn to death or you take matters into your own hands, bro. Just think about that. Like, that's crazy.
You chose death or death.
Yeah, but
Death
it's like,
or
I'm
death,
gonna sit here and burn alive, I'm gonna take the instant way out. You know, hate to say it, but it's like, man, like,
People fell 90 plus force, man. It's
That
tragic.
is insane,
and
bro.
before
Like,
we
it's
go
just-
any further, like I want to say, you know, like we want to send a condolence out to anybody who lost family members, friends, or anybody within the Twin Towers, you know, bombing. We pray that you guys, you know, we want to send healing energy, as Charlamagne the God would say. You know, so what we speaking about here isn't about the deaths, but you know, it's basically about our recollection of what transpired. So like I said, it's all the families and people who lost people. You know, we send our condolences out.
yeah, but very well said, man. But you know, like that right there is kind of like finished me, man. Just thinking about it, like people. Man, just
It's
thinking
like
about it now,
you
just
think about
I'd
the thought
process,
the thought
like-
process is like, yo, I have no option here. I have nothing. I have no option here. Like,
Then the plane audio. When the plane audio hit, I was done. Like, I was just like, I was finished. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you hear, like, people, bro, like, calling their families, like, yo, I love you, this and that. We take planes frequently, bro. We take everything for granted. I think, like, these people on the plane, bro. And the guy's telling them, like, yo, if y'all fight, you're gonna, you know, put yourself in danger, you're gonna put the plane in danger, right? So people probably just chill on the plane. You feel me? Like, yeah, all right, cool. If we don't fight, you know, you should be able to
Get out of
up
this,
out of this
yeah.
shit. But it's no end. You dying in it.
it's sad, man.
And then to hear people say, you know, I love you, blah, 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 this and that, like, bro.
Say their
it's not-
goodbyes.
Oh my God, bro.
Saying goodbyes. It's
Man,
sad, man.
it's like-
And it's one of those things where like that shit really, when you really research it sit with you for a while, you know, and you realize like you can't take life for granted. Because at any day, those
Regular work day.
people went to work regularly, man. It's like, and I can say that I know somebody personally who was scheduled to be. I know two people that were scheduled to be at the Twin Towers that day. I didn't find out till later, and it's fine. Like my grandmother, you know what I mean, on my father's side, you know, and she was scheduled to be at work that day. Just so happened she woke up late that day, and she's not a late person at all. You know, she woke up late that day, and she actually was late, and she actually was caught on the train. You know, but you know. I want to say I'm thankful for that, you know, because people still lost their lives in that, you know.
And the thing is,
I'm grateful that I still have my grandmother to this day, and I could have a conversation with her, and I could talk about her experiences when it came to
She used
it.
to work in the building?
Yeah, she used to work in the
I'm
building.
sure she'd never be alright.
Be the same, exactly. You know,
It's like
exactly.
that survivor's remorse. It's like,
Right.
damn, yo, you're like people like my colleagues, bro. Like, I was
You
supposed to
lost
be there.
everybody that you was cool with, that you done made, that you're men's with, your friends and everything like that, or people, just your coworkers in general. You know, you think about that shit, like, yo, that could have been me.
Could have been me.
That could have been me.
Kind of
you
hard
know,
to deal with, especially like around this time, bro. I'm sure it's tough for everybody. Like,
I know a cop. You know, I'm not gonna say his name, obviously. You know, but you know, he was supposed to be there that day. You know, his office was stationed in there. Now this is Twin Towers wasn't 100 floors. Twin Towers was 110 floors. So, and it was floors that was off the books, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, so, and one of those floors, you know, they were stationed and they lost everybody. Not one person made it out. You know what I mean? So now you gotta think about it. That man was scheduled to work that day, and he ended up working a different location, and now you don't have none of those people you just was in contact with. You lose all of them. And now you gotta go to work tomorrow. And still do your job effectively as a cop. Mentally not even
I'm sure
there.
his job was a little bit different. Like, he was on the cleaning up process.
And he was.
Like, trying to find those
And he
people.
was.
You feel me?
And he was.
Like, it's still hundreds of people that wasn't accounted for, that can't be identified. That's insane. Those families that never had closure.
It's just talks
Like, it's
of like just body parts. Like fingers, feet, shoes, heads. Ground zero, man. Ground zero. And like I said, that shit is sad and it's eerie to even talk about, and I'm kind of happy waited to like towards the end to even have this conversation, because it's one of those things where like it sit with you, man. Like when you really sit and you think about this, you know, and it's you know, at this point I won't even be a conspiracy theorist in this situation because people lost people, you know, and that's the reality of it.
But it's even like, even feeling how you feel now. Put yourself in a young Afghani situation.
Now niggas turn into your town, raiding your town, thinking that you had something to do with it.
Or think anybody has something to do with it.
They shooting everybody.
So imagine imagine how they feel.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just like from a human standpoint, like it's sick, bro. It's really sick.
The people that's in this world is sick.
I mean,
I won't say the world because the world isn't sick. It's the people that's in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's people that's in it. You know, I guess I won't chalk it up as a conspiracy theorist, and which I like to. I like to have fun with that. But people are just sick, man.
I mean, even I heard Trump made a deal with the Taliban, right? I think on that deal, they were supposed to stay away from like all of the terrorist organizations like Al Qaeda and stuff like that. But that was it. So when you start to see now when they took over Kabul and all of these different places, when you see that shit, like they with the speech that Biden made, right? He was like, "Oh, we was in it for, a certain agenda. We was in it to, get the people that did what they did to 9/11, right? We accomplished that goal. We accomplished that mission. Right. We shouldn't have been over there that long. This shit took 20 years when we was over there. Trillions of dollars wasted. In this in this thing, I think we lost over.
Not wasted, but invested.
No, wasted.
He said wasted.
Wasted.
Okay.
Wasted. It was a lot of money that was just wasted, bro. Like they talk about spending money, like trying to help build like the Afghan army.
Right.
They didn't have shit. They talking about like actually building it, like trying to build them up. They got poor how can I put it? Poor schooling. So a lot of people are not reading on the first grade level. So you have to teach these people first,
right,
and then build them up, right? So they said they talked about the uniforms that they had to spend money on, which the U.S. didn't own that particular pattern on the uniforms, so they had to go outsource and get the shit from somewhere else. And they mentioned the planes that they had bought from Italy, and when they bring it back over, the planes couldn't even fly, which they had spent like $400 million on. You know what I'm saying? The planes couldn't even fucking fly. Like they talked about a lot of shit that they So out of that $4.7 trillion that they had spent on that, they said a good 30 to 40% was just waste. Like either or corrupt, waste of money, or somebody did some foul shit with the money. But yeah, they said once Trump signed that deal with the Taliban, I think like I said, Biden said we weren't over there to help rebuild the country.
right.
That's fucked up. These locals think you rebuilding. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas over there for that oil.
Yeah.
That oil.
They think y'all helping us rebuild. They said they was never into country rebuild. You know what I'm saying? They was in it to, to just conquer their goal and get up out of there. You know, they said they built up the army. They said Afghan. They didn't put out a notice saying Afghan people want to fight for their own country, which is completely a lie. You see these people fight. You know what I'm saying, all the time. You get what I'm saying? Like it's just weird. It's weird shit, man. It's weird shit.
Wow. That definitely set the mood, man.
Yeah, it said they didn't fight for their own country. So why would we keep fighting for the country if they're not gonna fight for themselves? I think we lost over 4,000 troops, bro. So now in that particular war alone, and bro, the same way we came in 20 years ago is the same way we left it. So it's like a pointless war. Pointless fucking war.
That to be honest, man, that definitely put me in a different space, man. You know what I mean? Like really thinking about that shit. It's sad, man.
Yeah, I mean it kind of makes you take life for granted every day. Like America is so fucked up. Like it's just built on just strictly this work and no morals, no integrity, and just people don't. I just feel like just think about your normal day life. It's just consistent work. Like you working 8 hours, 9 hours, sometimes more. You come home, don't even got enough time to spend with your family. You get what I'm saying? You go to sleep, wake back up. Same thing all over again, bro. It's like people in third world countries, like I think I was mentioning about before. If they did have some type of tourist thing set up, bro, these countries can benefit from it. You get what I'm saying? These people are just happy with just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? They're happy with just the way it is. So imagine having a belief system, right? When America comes over, you kind of got a belief system like, all right, cool, these people are doing the right thing. You feel what I'm saying? These people are doing the right thing, but it's not. And the next day you wake up and they're just gone. And you still got to deal with the Taliban, and you still got to deal with the shit that you dealt with 20 years ago all over again. You feel what I'm saying? Knowing how they treat women, you get me? Knowing how they feel about doctors and lawyers and things like that. It's fucked up. Like, it's fucked up. Like that country's like in a fucked up situation. So prayers to all the Afghanis out there, bro. Like
it's tough. Hang in there. Help is on the way. You know what I mean? And I say that because I just know that although y'all may be down, everything may be down, that there is a up. On Kanye album, he mentioned like even if you're not ready for the day, but it cannot always be night. You know what I mean? It can't always be all dark and gloomy. Your day will come. So I definitely like to send healing energy out there. To the Afghani people and anybody out here who's dealing with struggles.
Anybody that lost family members in the war.
In war, in COVID war, and whatever the case may be. If you lost a person to a fucking foot fungus, man, like you said, just feeling energy, man. We pray that you guys, get through, that trauma of losing people and losing a person, and it's just unfortunate, man. But it's life you live.
So September 11th, man. Just take time to just figure out the history. I know a lot of you motherfuckers weren't born and shit like that, but just figure out the history and just get in tune with what went on, man. Because that was like one of the longest wars, most expensive wars, in American history, bro. Like that shit, like.
That's a fact, man. And like I said, I think it's kind of eerie, man, but
it's the truth.
It's the truth, man.
It's so crazy, bro. Like I've really been saying that. Like, that was like on my list. So go to Iran or Iraq, Afghanistan. That's been on my list because, like I said, man, it's like it's good people out there. Everybody's not in it. Everybody's not terrible, bro. It's really good people in the world. Everybody's not disgusting how they portray on TV. I mean, they portray the Taliban to be such bad people. And I don't want to get into that because it's also something I had discovered. And I don't want to say the wrong shit because, you get what I'm saying? I found out something called Stellar Wind, right? Which was implemented in the United States government, right? So Stellar Wind was pretty much, it was a warrantless wiretapping program. It's like metadata, you know what I'm saying? On international and domestic people. You get me? So what that meant was because it was afraid, because remember, the airport had no fucking structure or anything like that before. Like nothing had structure. You can go into any place with a knife, anything like that. It had no structure, right? And I don't want to keep dragging this on, but they started changing things. So what they started doing is they created this Stellar Wind thing and started spying on domestic people. And we witness this shit to this day. How many times people say, oh, the phone is still on, the phone is recording you. this and that, blah blah blah. So they spying on their own citizens, and this shit has been going on for what, more than 20 years. And
Yeah,
now
I would say more than 20 years.
Yeah, and now that it started off as something else, but now it has transformed to something
Completely
something
else,
completely different. For what the intended use is for. So
He said the world that we live in is definitely a different world. It's a world that
but that particular thing that violates like your Fourth Amendment, like you know what I'm saying.
They don't give a fuck about that.
I know, but this is what the country.
That's
is built on.
outdated, man. That's outdated, man. Most people are outdated.
It's outdated, but it wasn't changed, so you're still going against the
Of
law.
course.
You feel me? Of
course, but how many people know the law? And that's the thing. And that's like, you got to fight that, man.
But you should be able to have peace inside your home, right? Privacy.
Right, but the First Amendment also, give you your right of your freedom of speech. When that right been taken from us for years. You say the wrong thing, a cop is shooting you. You say you can't speak your mind about nothing. You speak your mind about a certain group of people. Your checks are taken away. You speak something that's just your First Amendment right has been gone for years, for decades. We never had a First Amendment right. We never been able to talk and say anything to any and everybody. We always gotta watch it. That's me. It's sad that you and it's not to get off the conversation.
Yeah,
that's my point.
Nah, and I just wanted to say that to say the same way you see the Taliban and Muslim people in general being portrayed on TV, black people was portrayed the same way a couple months ago.
Every day. They still put us on the news with our tags. Like, this man get killed. They're gonna show you his his graduation photo. They're gonna show you a photo of him on Instagram holding a bag of weed.
That's what I'm saying. Particularly a couple months ago. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same image we see, and they're gonna make you feel some type of way when you watch that, right? They make you hate blacks. You know what I'm saying? But now they make you hate the Taliban and Afghani people and Muslim people. You feel me? So don't follow the bullshit. You get what I'm saying? Get in tune with follow the truth and get in tune.
And the truth isn't put in front of you, so you gotta
go seek it for it, man. So everybody on this earth is not bad, no matter what you see in the news.
That's a fact, man. And I want to say, man, if you stayed this long, man, to this episode, and I know we got kind of into a different bag, which I think is necessary because things are happening in this world. Thank you, man. Thank you. We greatly appreciate you for staying this long and then tuning in to what we do and what we talking about, and things are going to continue to get better, man. There's so much more room to grow. And like I said, with you guys, we want to grow with you. You know what I mean? So if you got any comments or anything like that, please add them into the comment section.
We love reading the comments, man. Whether it's on Instagram or YouTube, we like reading the comments, man. Like interacting with y'all, even if it's just like fire emojis, whatever the case may be.
That's a fact, man.
You definitely love it. Subscribe. Repost this, man. You get what I'm saying? Like, do whatever you gotta do to keep the numbers up.
That's a fact, man. Hey, D, can I get a thank you, man?
Alright, thank you. Yes, but thank yo.
That's a fact. Local hustlers, man.
Yeah, once again, shout out to AVN Clothes for for the hats and stuff like that. You get me? So
it's a fact. We appreciate you, man.
For sure.
Let's do it.